All right. Welcome back, friends. Been a minute. When last we saw our heroes, the Trollskull 6, they defeated the wizard Isgarin, along with his werewolf butler, Mr. Grey, and a host of other baddies in his mysterious floating wizard's tower, liberating some of the people that were being kept or hosted there, depending on your point of view. You descended through the tower afterward, kind of clearing things out, checking all the spaces, eventually making your way back to the town of Garenhof. And once you had a moment to kind of center yourselves, you returned victorious to the city of Lion's Arch. Is there anything anybody else remembers about where exactly we left off? Rock on.
It kind of devolved at the end into
A little bit.
Just like, we'll get there. Like,
Alatar dropped us all at the crow's nest and then teleported back to the manor.
I forgot about
So
that.
everybody else is
Oh.
still standing outside the crow's nest.
yeah, you're absolutely
Galatar
right.
and Alexa are about to become incapacitated for 12 hours.
That's right.
Right. Emergency, get to your safe
Yep.
space.
My only regret is not taking Alexa with me on the second teleport.
That you remembered that.
I forgot you. Before you left
Yes.
the village of Garenhof, the
Yes.
two of you took a bit of moon moss to lubricate
All right.
your
We have-
transition between the
Yeah.
planes.
We've now have knowledge how to do that.
That's right. And we even got a little seed thing from the that one person.
Did you spent
which
a
I
little,
forgot
little
about.
time exploring a little corner of the Feywild, where you met a dryad who would not give you her name, but when she asked you to stop trying to remove one of her trees from her grove, and you agreed, she did graciously offer you one seedling, so you do have that. Brina has now come into possession of a romance novel.
Yes.
A very, very rare collection.
Oh, which
This
I
is
mean,
the Rogan whatever book.
This
the not
is
Logan
Destiny's
Thackeray, but
Pledge.
renamed book.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Destiny's Pledge.
I am looking for its companion copy of Crocator at the fair, but
Oh right.
Crocatorid.
Crocatorid. Oh, it's so good.
Shoot, what was Ritlock's name? That was so funny.
I-
Not the name you made up for him, but the name he said by accident.
Oh fuck! What did I call
Have me
him?
rolling.
I believe you called him Shitlock Rimstone, which I do not find amusing.
And Rogan Snackery.
Guys, I think it's very funny, and that's good. That's
That
good.
was so good.
Ryan also neglected to tell us that there are cover arts to these books.
What?
Ryan.
They're amazing.
You said
Oh
it's
my
called
God.
Destiny's Pledge?
Link in the chat.
I put it in chat. I put the specific book
okay.
in chat.
Gotcha.
So I think that's fan art, maybe?
Oh, is it?
Maybe?
It was just from the wiki.
The
Open Rogan.
images behind the bars, those are from like concept art.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, I don't think that art is in game, but
Oh my God.
it is quite lovely.
And it's a single cot prison cell. You know I love the one bed trope. Ugh. Iconic. Oh god.
You
So that's
guys.
Rita's.
It's amazing. I have to look up cover art for Crocator to Fair now.
Yeah, it
kind
had the
of
whole list on the wiki.
requirement that D&D groups must be the thirstiest people.
I
Just
mean,
an avid reader. It's not Rita.
it's just an appreciation of art. Sorry, is
Literary
something wrong with
enthusiasts.
appreciating art?
Also, Ryan, you did not have to give that to us.
This is true.
True.
You didn't have to feed the flames that were already burning.
I did not have to, but Would it have
Tossing
been a
this
crime
book in
not
there has
to?
just turned it into a bonfire.
It
Willful
obviously would.
neglect.
That's
Very
true too.
much.
It would have been a crime.
So yes, you find yourselves back in Lion's Arch now, flush with some new magic items. Those of you who find yourselves standing outside the Crow's Nest Tavern are free to make your way slowly back to the Trollskull Manor. Eventually, Alexa and Galtar, I assume, sequester themselves safely on their beds in their rooms in the manor and crash for 12 hours and are unable to be awakened.
Yeah, it sounds about right.
I'm
Yeah,
not
that
going
works.
back to the manor.
Brown chicken. brown
Where does
cow.
Colin
Not our manor.
Windward Anchorage. I'm going to the tower.
Okay. So Kala waves goodbye and stalks her way through the city streets, out through the gates of the city proper into the sort of fantasy Moss Eisley equivalent of the Windward Anchorage, the rough and tumble part of town where the accomplished and some might say noble wizard Kolinar makes his abode. Kala, you traipse down there and check in. He is sitting on his second floor sort of study area above the kitchen, not in the tower, but in like the house sort of proper, with Isabel, Franz, and Muriel. He just tells you, assuming you check in, let's see. He tells you that he's been explaining what happened. Kind of going over. He's pulled out like an old lore book with some folk tales in it. Some of the history books about that region and the region where the Wizard's Tower used to be. He's sort of trying to ease them into this idea of what's been going on. Isabel and Franz are shaken a bit, but they seem to be adjusting to the reality of the situation about as well as you can expect. Muriel is having a little tougher time because the wizard never revealed his true nature to her.
Yeah.
He just like pampered her and complimented her, like always giving her high praise, and you know, she was just there of her own volition, and she's heartbroken that this sort of glorious, pampered life seems to have come to an end. Kolinar plans on taking them back to Garenhof at some point, like once they've kind of caught their breath, to speak to the town master. He wants to discuss the future of the tower and of the town, and he tells you, I've made a few friends in the Priory and the Order of Whispers over the last few months who I think would be interested in the knowledge held within the tower. My hope is that these three might stay on as caretakers of sort, perhaps turn the manor grounds into some sort of I don't know, museum or tourist destination or something. Something that could still benefit the town. Assuming we could guarantee their safety, of course. I imagine it will take some time, and what with the packed resources being stretched somewhat thin combating the threat from the Elder Dragons, I can't say that anyone would necessarily be free to dedicate to this, but we'll make all efforts to make sure these three are at least comfortable in this new phase of their life.
Yeah, I guess that should be okay. Right now, the Shining Blade is there, and I think they're calling in the Priory and Order of Whispers.
Ah, so much the better. Perhaps I shall run into the Countess. I've yet to make her acquaintance, I believe.
She's interesting.
So I've heard. But in any case, these fine folks are safe. Safe enough anyhow, as for the time being. I'll return them home in the next few days. But thank you for checking on them. Is your group all right? Are your friends, everyone okay?
Yeah, you know, like usual.
Well, that's to be expected, I suppose.
Mm.
Adventurers are almost as renowned as wizards for being eccentric.
Mm. Yeah, I think they'll be okay after a little sleep.
Won't we all? It's been an eventful day.
Mm.
If they're all okay, I will head back to the manor, I guess.
Yeah. All right. So 12 hours pass. The next day dawns. And as you guys kind of settle in back home, things in the city are like the city itself is bustling as ever. It's always busy. There's always markets open and people coming and going at all hours doing their regular business. A big deal has been made of the pact coming home. There are many ships in the harbor, both in the harbor and immediately outside, as the whole fleet can't really fit in the harbor itself. Let's see. All right. So as you guys walk around town and you sit in your manor, you have your breakfast. As you kind of look over the grounds, one would assume you check in with Tim, see how the bar's been doing, and it's been fine. You start to notice that people are talking about the upcoming festival. There's a big party planned, and Lion's Arch is going to be the focus of the attention. There will be matching ceremonies and festivities in the other capital cities for those who can't travel here. It's very much a sort of not just nationwide, but multicultural, multi-capital, multi-location, big-time festival. And people are talking about making it an annual tradition to celebrate the fall of Zhaitan. Everywhere you go, people are putting up decorative streamers. There are pinatas of dragons and little like colored tassels and things being hung around. All sorts of different like posters, and you see people carrying crates with colorful markings on them. Some of them like dragon faces, clearly marked as like festival supplies. You notice that over the next couple of days, vendors, people pulling like hand carts of their own, some being pulled by donkeys or oxen, bringing wagons, like sort of like the gypsy like covered wagons start rolling into town from all corners of Tyria. People start setting up in the major thoroughfares and the town squares, and you start to hear people humming the same melody. There's this catchy melody that people are starting to hum, and it's definitely putting like a little pep in people's step. And everywhere you go, you sometimes see people bobbing along to it and humming. And as you sort of tease this out, various patrons of your tavern, merchant folk, they tell you that the vigil, there was a group of soldiers from the vigil that on the long sea journey home came up with a song about the defeat of Zhaitan, celebrating it. It's called Bash the Dragon. They knew the festival was coming and they worked to create, and it's really caught on. The words themselves have yet to really catch on, but the tune is oft repeated by the different performing bards that roam throughout the city. And I would imagine that Bertie takes an interest I'm gonna text Alex to see where he's at.
I know, right? He's missing it out.
What a banger! With the hand claps? Damn.
Oh yeah. Hand claps, foot stomps.
What song is this in real life? I'm gonna add it.
Oh, it gets better. Yeah, I was hoping Alex would be here for this, so I'm hoping that he.
I mean, you
is
can always
getting
like
ready.
drop the Easter egg here, and we'll circle back
Okay.
around once he's back.
He is setting up his computer right now. So I'll tell you what. Let's do. Let's pause. If you guys need a bio break, you want to grab some food real quick.
Yeah.
We will shortly resume. I'm gonna pause the recording. And we're live, and Alex is here.
Ooh.
So, as the town is high energy and people are starting to decorate, things are getting kind of crazy. Everyone is alive and happy. There are a couple of more somber ceremonies from time to time to commemorate some of the lost and the fallen. Occasionally, like a lone ship sails into the bay and is greeted with like a formal reception as those who kind of left behind and were cleaning up what remained to be done in Ore have kind of started a regular back and forth patrol and a sort of delivery of bodies found in ruins and things like that. But overall, the mood is celebratory. People are happy. So you guys have a couple of days to reflect on your adventures since the fall of Zhaitan, and to kind of get to know the magical items and things that you found in the Wizard's Tower. Galatar, if you want to spend any time reading that journal
I
after
do.
your 12-hour nap.
Yeah, I don't want to like try and get it all at once. So I was thinking like maybe an hour's worth a day, because that's like one thing per in-game day to learn about this guy.
So you already spent 1 hour with it. You know that he was born Garen of the North Spire, a talented Orion painter, and that he left Or to capture the beauty of the mainland when Prince Mazdak set out to colonize it.
And that was, sorry, I want to make sure I remember this right. That was before like Kryta had been established. Like it was still
There were Crichton people there, and Ilona. It was kind of like I don't want to equate it to Europeans and the Native Americans, because it wasn't like a brutal wholesale slaughter, but it was very much like some tense relations, and there were battles fought, and eventually they did forcefully colonize it. They subjected the people there to Orion rule.
Okay, so wait, I guess here's a better question. Did all the people, like the Elonians, the Crichtons, the Orions, did they all come over at once with the human gods?
Make a history check.
Oh god. Let's there we go. 29.
29. So the artesian waters, the underground artesian spring where you fought Zhaitan, is historically known as the place where the goddess Duena first set foot on Tyria. The magic of that place kind of drew her attention from the mists. It is a contested point in history whether the gods brought the first humans to Ore, as the Orions claim, or if they first brought humans to the nation of Cantha, far to the southwest. The Canthan Dragon Empire has always claimed to be the oldest human settlement in Tyria.
Okay. Interesting. But all humans did originate from somewhere else and were brought over by the gods.
By the human gods, yeah. By the six.
Okay.
So a couple of days reading is a good amount of time. The first day you spend some time, and it kind of continues the same story. You learn that due to his talent as a painter and the strength of his intellect and his natural curiosity, Garen became part of Prince Mazdak's retinue and grew in status and authority until eventually King Mazdek was driven out of Kryta.
Hmm.
Reading a little bit the next evening, you find that he was part of the people who were very close to Mazdak, and people knew this because of his rise to authority and power. So he was driven out with the prince, and for years he wandered the sort of outskirts of the Crichton province alone, just trying to survive. But eventually, he fell prey to a creature of darkness, and at the time of his writing this, he didn't fully understand it. He rose from a shallow grave the day after he was attacked. And in terror, not understanding what had happened to him, he fled into the darkness of the wild woods, hiding himself from the pain of the sun until his hunger taught him what he'd become. It's a harrowing tale. And on the third day, if you read another hour,
Mm-hmm.
you learn that many years later, he encountered. You can kind of discern through his description that these were cultists of a powerful necromancer named Verata. Verata. And these cultists were seeking to hide themselves from agents of the White Mantle. He killed these cultists and took from them a powerful artifact, but not before he charmed a few of them and questioned them intensely about the object and about Verata the Necromancer himself. He discovered that the artifact was a reliquary of sorts, holding part of the essence of the Necromancer, his animating spirit, along with another very powerful artifact that had also been lost in the chaos of battle against a White Mantle Justiciar and their knights many years prior. There is a sketch of the artifact in the book, and it is a shriveled, gnarled hand.
Damn it, I knew you were going to say this. Oh. God damn it. Alright, cool. Oh, yeah, that's the other thing. I forgot I've got this hand. So, upon
too.
remembering while reading this that, oh shit, in my bag there's a disgusting hand that survived a bombing by Birdie and was once stored in a reliquary. I would like to seek out Grandfather Zhaitan, because he has that friend who collects or somehow deals with these antiquities. I don't really remember, but to see if he might be able to assist in this.
Sure. Yeah, with your fame and familiarity with Grandfather Zhaitan, it's easy enough to secure an audience at the temple. As you pull the object from your bag, even through the cloth, like you can see that this, like the strips of cloth that you have bound it in, have browned and are frail and flaking apart, almost threadbare, where they touch this object. There is a faint stench of decay about it, and as you sort of lay it out before him, you watch Father Zhaitan kind of wrinkle his nose, and he stretches out a hand, sort of runs it. He doesn't touch the object, but he runs it a couple of inches above it. He closes his eyes for a moment and really kind of stretches out with his various senses. And you can see visibly, like, his face is an open book, that like the presence of this thing disgusts him. It is a vile thing, and he says as much. But he asks you about where you came by it and what you know about it. So it's up to you to decide how much of that story you share with him.
Yeah, I wouldn't hold anything back from him. I would tell him the entirety of who Garen was, what he had been up to, that I've been reading through his journal, that this was on his corpse. Birdie blew up the tomb and this was completely unaffected.
I will say that judging by how far you've come through the journal, it looks like you've got about three hours worth of reading left.
Okay. And we haven't gotten to the tower yet. Like, the tower
Right.
has not come along yet in the book. Okay.
Correct.
Gotcha.
Grandfather Zatembe asks you what your intentions are with this object. Will you keep it safe? Do you have a vessel to contain its power, or were you planning to donate it to the temple, or did you want him to give it to his contact?
I mean, I don't have anything safe to where to put it, and we tend to travel a lot. I wouldn't want to just leave it at the manor, and I also wouldn't want to take it into, say, the lair of a dragon. Also seems like a bad idea. So if you and the temple or your contact, whoever, might be able to keep it safe, I do not know if an object like this should be studied, or if it is too dark that perhaps it would tempt even the noblest of intentions. It may be better to just contain it and keep it away from anybody, but I would leave that to your discretion.
I need to look something up really quick. Okay, so I need to actually get the record. Grandfather Zatambe takes you sort of into a private room just off of his public-facing office. And you see there the large mirror that he once used to contact his friend. He kind of moves towards it, but he doesn't actually activate the mirror. He instead pulls out a couple of chairs from a desk and a small end table, and pulls them over, one for you and one for him, and sits a small round. It's just like a little side table you might put like a glass of wine and a book on by your easy chair. Sets that between the two of you. And he sets the hand in its wrappings down on the table and begins to very slowly, delicately kind of unstrip the cloth, leaving the cloth between the artifact and the table, but getting it so that the hand itself is exposed. Once he does that, he reaches out both of his hands and puts the backs of his palms flat on the table, and kind of motions for you to give him your hands.
I'll give him to him.
And he tells you in his kind of shaky, elderly voice, "No, what we're gonna do here is we're gonna close our eyes, and we're gonna get very still, and I am going to use a special technique that my friend Ogden once taught to me. We're gonna learn what we can about this here artifact." And he closes his eyes, kind of takes you by the hands, and his grip is surprisingly firm for such an elderly gentleman. You see him like kind of screw up his eyes a little bit and takes a deep breath, exhales. And after like a minute or so of being quiet and still, it's an odd sensation. It's kind of like when you use the identify spell, but it's less clinical, and it's more like fragments of memory from someone else mixed with like sort of raspy incantations of like rhyming couplets and poetic expressions.
Mm-hmm.
And part of what you hear is a string of epithets. The unseen one, heal the shadows, the hand of doom, the fallen one, the betrayer, lord of the things that crawl. And as these titles and these bits of what get you seem like maybe spell fragments are passing through your mind, you start to hear sort of descriptive phrases like, woe be unto he who taketh up this hand, for they shall become an emissary of our dread Lord, that his power might course through them in exchange for the proper sacrifice. And you see a vision of what looks like a kind of youngish man with a shaved head and a couple of tattoos kind of emblazoned across his forehead, in a green robe with a low, stiff collar, raising up a hand towards what looks like a crescent moon on a dark night, a ceremonial sickle in the other hand as he brings the blade down and hacks off his left arm from the elbow down. And you see him reaching down into darkness, and he pulls up this hand, sticks it onto his own arm, and there is a magical fusion as veins of black ichor kind of creep up his arm, and the object fuses itself to him. You watch as the fingers flex. The first time you've ever seen the hand in motion, aside from when Iscaran himself wielded it.
Mm-hmm.
You watch as the hand reaches out and grabs a staff on a nearby stone altar, and as it does so, frost? No, sorry. The wood of the staff also has this sort of black, veiny, necrotic energy that sort of spider webs out from his hand up the edge of the staff as he holds it up, grinning in the moonlight. You watch as he reaches down and picks up a small stone and kind of crushes it to gravel in his hand, shakes it off, and then there's just maniacal laughter as he starts pointing his fingers and slinging spells that once before he could not bring himself to manifest. And with that, the grip on your hands is released, and you see Zitembe open his eyes. He's sort of panting heavily, his brow sweating. And he tells you that, in summary, yes, very dangerous object, a powerful talisman of this necromancer, certainly able to gift a person with terrible power, but at a great price. So, at this point, he says, objects like these, they have a way of finding their way from one person to another, and there's a sensitivity about them when it comes to ownership. So, if we were to take this and store it someplace safely, you would have to willingly part with it. So I would just need you to verbalize that arrangement, and we shall deliver it safely to Master Ogden at the Priory.
Yeah, no, I can verbalize that. I would think that even knowing how dangerous this artifact could be, it would be a great temptation to have it in my possession. I would much prefer for you and Ogden to take it wherever you feel safe.
He reaches across, this time to take your hand in a grasp of friendship, but also formal handshake. He grabs you by the hand and puts his other hand on the back of yours. I think you have made a wise decision, and I knew you were a smart one the first day we met.
Oh, thank you.
We will happily take charge of this this object for you. Uh, when you finish with the accompanying journal, do feel free to drop that by as well, and we shall make sure it's kept in the same location.
Absolutely, that would be fantastic. And Ryan, can I ask real quick about that
Yeah.
vision? Did the staff or the person look at all, I don't know, recognizable from any old books? Like, is the staff something that is a well-known like legend or artifact or something that would have come across in historical research?
The staff itself just looked like a staff. It didn't have
Okay.
any particularly identifying marks, aside from it was just a nicely carved staff, but like the head of it wasn't any sort of specific animal or noticeable piece of craftsmanship. Yeah, it's just a staff. You gather that wielding the staff while attuned to the hand imbued the staff with greater power.
Okay. And then the person with the tattoos, were those at all recognizable, or?
I would say with your knowledge of the arcane, they were necromantic glyphs.
Okay.
So it was some necromancer. There was nothing really distinguishable about them. I'll tell you what. Make a religion check.
Okay. That would be a 22.
Excellent. So yes, oddly enough, not so much the tattoos on its head, which clearly identify him as a necromancer, but the green and black robes with the short high collar. It's an older style that's not really worn anymore, but you recognize the cut and some of the coloration, the design from descriptions you've read, and the name Virata helps. Virata, you recall, was a powerful necromancer who was formerly the high priest of Grenth in the Grand Temple of Divinity's Reach. Or, sorry, of Lion's Arch. Back when Lion's Arch was the capital, before Divinity's Reach was built. Virata craved power and split from the church, became an apostate, and took a bunch of necromancers with him who kind of worshipped him in a sort of cult of personality. So this was probably one of his priests, or his cultists.
And then, sorry, one last question. Does the Dreadlord, does that seem like it refers to Virata, or does it refer to somebody else? Does that name or the one or any of those things seem to reference a particular individual I might be aware of?
I would say that as part of those whisperings, the object itself is called the Hand of Virata.
Okay, so it is Virata's hand. Cool.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, this is the Guild Wars equivalent of Vecna.
Yeah. Super creepy. Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, yeah. After I turn that over, I will go back and I'll let the group know that I turned over that object to Zatembe and left it to his judgment.
And Grandfather Zatembe, for his part, he will also ask you to keep an eye out for this other artifact. Should you ever come across it, he would also be happy to take it. But you know, if it's out there and you happen across it, it's probably very dangerous as well. And he will start kind of tasking some of his people to kind of look into that and try to figure out if there's any more information for you.
Yeah, and I'll mention to him, although he probably had already heard about the Wizard's Tower and that the Derman Priory and stuff will be looking into it, that if he wanted to send people, he should be able to as well.
He thanks you for that information. He'll send one of his acolytes to the steward of the Priory, just to let them know that they are at his service, and if they should need like cleansing magic that maybe the Priory doesn't have access to, they'd be happy to assist.
Great.
Awesome. So, you guys have a couple of days. You are home from your derailed vacation. Once again in the free city of Lion's Arch. This pirate city by the sea. Trade is picking up. Party vibes are getting stronger. You have a couple of days, a couple of moments to reflect. Your trials in the tower, your travels to other planes. At this point, you can all level up. Which I think takes you to 17?
It does.
Dude, I
And
forgot
ninth
about
level
that.
spells.
Yes. We are moving into the big
Exciting.
league.
I would say the
Oh my
gloves are
gosh.
off.
Oof.
I have so far, obviously, second campaign. I've never had a campaign at this high of a level with so much more left to do. So we will see how ninth level spells do ya.
Yeah.
So are
You
we
may or may
still
not
hit
die.
by that like hit point reduction from previously?
No, we did the Greater Restoration. Got rid of it. That was how Brina got her
That's
memories
right.
back, I think.
Yes, I
Yeah.
recall this now.
Yeah,
Okay.
it sure was.
For better or worse.
Spells.
I-
Critical now is fucking evil.
Yeah, and you are in Lion's Arch, so if you need magical reagents, inks, diamonds, or other spell components, you are in a city where you can get those. So if you just want to subtract your gold and restock your inventories, please feel free to do so.
Yeah, I gotta buy more arrows. I'm down to only like 50.
I gotta make
100
it,
hit
make it through the
points.
week for
Down
you.
to 50
Yeah, but what do you
now.
go through? Like 10 a mission because
Wait, one
every
sec.
one shot you kill somebody? I mean, your single arrow for you does like
It's a lot of
85,000 points of
arrows.
damage.
Hmm.
Goodness.
I will say, I don't know if anybody gets an ASI at this level. I don't think so. Okay. That's good.
Consider me leveled. Had my spell picked out.
I was not ready.
So I know we're leveling right now, but then are we gonna do like how you've been having us do the kind of like walking through what we do when we level up like next time we play? So like we'll do the, or we're
Well,
wanting
I
us
would,
to do that this time?
I would love if you have an idea of over these 3 days, like how you're reflecting and how you're developing these new skills. I'd love to hear that.
Okay, cool.
Oh, got that. Yeah, yeah,
That for me is the fun part of leveling up.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, in that case, could I do two quick things?
Yeah.
The first of which is on the very first day that we had free, I would want to try and go meet up with Countess Anise.
At Garenhof?
Yeah, if that's where she is, just wherever I know she's going to be.
Okay. Probably that first day after you wake up from your 12-hour slog. Yeah, she's probably still in Garenhof.
Okay. Because one of the 2 9th level spells I wanted to take is Foresight, and the way I'm wanting to view that spell is more of it's like sort of a blade song or like
Damn it, Chandler.
what? Or it's sort of like, I guess the Shining Blade, it's like their sort of ace in the hole for people that have really like mastered the order, like something that's really powerful and gives you the ability to kind of see things as they're coming and to think a step ahead of your opponent.
Training your instincts like super hard. That
Yeah.
Jedi foresight.
Yeah, so kind of like asking her that, just noticing lately, like in battle, things are starting to come a little bit quicker at times, and it's getting a little easier to dodge things or to figure out what my opponent's going to do. And then with her help to kind of finally get this step to where I can consistently use this technique that will allow me to be able to constantly stay a step ahead of whoever it is that we're dealing with.
And yeah, I would say she would set aside some time over the next couple of days, at least one day, to have you travel to Divinity's Reach, and she would meet with you and your father, Roland, to do a little private practice, to go over these techniques, to talk about them, and to give you some exercises that you can use on your own to continue to progress. But that kind of helps develop this this ability for you. Yeah.
Perfect. And then the other thing that I wanted to do, because I'm going to go ahead and take the spell, but I'm not going to use it anytime soon, is take the wish spell, but I want to go to the Temple of Cormyr and just take out as many books on different forms of the arcane that I can to try and study how other people who aren't using magic in the same way that I or Kolinar do kind of access their magic. So maybe periodically throughout the few days, like making a little visit to the Cenobium or other places where people practice those magics, or even like asking Birdie or Alexa just kind of how their magic works to start to better understand how I might be able to tap into other types of magic beyond my own.
Yeah, yeah. There's a temple to every one of the five, or sorry, every one of the 6 gods in the city. So you've got like healing magic from the houses of healing, where Duena is the primary. Melandru's garden. So there's nature and growth and restorative magics there, as well as elemental, like primal magics. The darker side of the restorative magics is the destructive magics at the Temple of Grenth. The Listen Cenobium is obviously flush with enchantment and illusion, and there are plenty of acolytes and priests and a variety of people at different levels who can, as you kind of get more proficient with it, provide better answers to your questions. Yeah.
Awesome, thanks.
All right. Anybody else?
I have something that is fairly brief.
All right.
I was trying to figure out how to justify level 17. It comes with an additional brutal critical die.
Nice.
And I think obviously there's your standard Brina goes to hit shit mission. But I think what really seals the deal for this is the quantity of dragon pinatas across the city. So in the next couple days, that real additional damage comes from, I think, any pinata dragon that she sees is eviscerated in her path. To a point where it becomes, I think, a bit of a public nuisance.
Fair enough. Fair enough. You start to notice that in sectors of the city, especially like there's a radius, like the closer you get to Trollskull Tavern, people start erecting like dragon pinatas and like little like rocking dummies from barrel bottoms that are like reinforced with steel rods. You know, and they almost like dangle them in front of you so that you don't hit the ones designed for the kids.
It's like funny at first, and then it quickly becomes irritating.
Well, irritating to the merchants, but they're like, as you walk around town, there is like a small army of children who just walk behind you and cheer and like, get that one, and you see them like pull up their little aprons or like little sacks they carry. It's just like empty sackcloth bags, and they rush over and grab all the goodies, and yeah,
that tracks.
Fantastic. I love that flavor for fucking brutal critical.
I know, it's like, I mean, she hits a ton of shit, but what would really seal the deal for some additional damage? Something exploding. Just happens to have candy in it. Okay.
All right. Does anyone else have something they'd like to do?
I will say, Birdie, for this particular level up, I know previously he had kind of asked Brina's girlfriend, the abbess, Abbess Fisher, at the Cenobium for like I need like the space I can go to and like mess it up, and she had brought me like kind of deep into the bowels of the Cenobium. I think he would make his way there and would, you know, have his loot out, and you would watch as he just kind of takes his loot and just starts like strumming, and it like the sound just like continues to grow, and it's like louder and louder. I imagine like the people up in the Cenobium maybe even feel like a little shake as this happens, as Birdie just lets out this like single scream note, and like the tiles start to fall off the walls down there and stuff.
Yeah, there's like some splintering of the stone and
yeah,
masonry kind of tumble down.
Yeah. As he just kind of, you know, lifts off a little steam after having been, you know, charmed and
Taking
got the crap kicked out of
inspiration,
him. Yeah,
I believe, and turning what you've witnessed into your own brand. because that was the opening attack from Garen, was Psychic Scream.
Oh, gnarly.
I think absolutely. I did not realize that.
Yeah, that's what incapacitated Kitri.
Shoot. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Then absolutely. As he's like, I can do better.
I could do better. Yeah.
Honestly, it sounded so bad when he did it.
You destroy your own dojo?
just a little bit of cosmetic damage.
You know,
'Cause it's
it's-
designed to
no
withstand
foundation.
stuff.
it's part of the process.
All right. Okay. Just wondering.
All right. Kala, did you have something?
Yeah, I picked up a book in the alchemy lab. Is Garen's potion making book, and it was in a cipher, and I would like to see if I can decipher that. Kala is hoping it contains poison recipes, but I don't know. We can come back to it later if
I may have
Lost.
improvised that because I don't have a note about that book.
okay.
It was in the potion brewery where the lich
Yeah,
was?
with with the green bubbling cauldron and
Okay. Yeah, well,
Okay.
I'll make a note here. Hang on. Potion book. Make an investigation check. I'll say make it with advantage because Kolinar can help you.
Okay.
He would be interested in this.
that's a 30.
30?
Yeah.
Jesus. I forget you're proficient in that.
Mm.
And I will work out with you later what is in that, because you do figure out the cipher working together.
Okay.
Now, I didn't have anything specific in mind for it, but
Mm.
it can do something, because I think I have a system for some poisons. Yeah. All right. Is Alexa doing anything, or was there anything else Kala was going to do besides that?
Not really. No, that was it.
Okay.
It doesn't really have anything to do with the feature I get at this level.
What is the feature you get at this level?
I can take a second attack as a bonus action.
Oh. Easy enough to say over the next couple of days as you're thinking about the past and all the battles you've been through, considering how frustrating it is for you that you don't get a second attack, trying to find that extra bit and practice your quick draw. Yeah. Okay. So Kitri or Alexa. You don't have to have anything.
Got something, but if you want to go ahead.
Oh, I have maybe a little something.
Yeah.
Honestly, Kitri doesn't do too much research, so she doesn't really know where she would go. She'd ask Galatar and Alexa, do you want to come with me to the place where they keep the books? Where there's information.
The library?
Yeah, I think it's that one. Whichever place it is. I guess there's something I would like to try to find some information about.
We
Yeah.
can help anytime. Yes.
Sure.
So I know that there's a few places to go searching for stuff.
Sure.
But she wants to go and see if she can find any. Essentially, it would be writings or information about other creatures, other than Sylvari or other spirits in relation to like the dream. Yeah. If you, I can try to elaborate. I just had this in a note from last time, and I was like, "What is this?"
Yes. What is it you're trying to find out? Like
So I
if
think
other
like
if
last
other creatures
time,
can access it?
yes, and also like I have a note that was like asking questions about like elementals and how like are they connected in some way to like the pale tree, but like not necessarily, but like essentially like she knows the dream isn't like necessarily like the like quote spiritual realm, but yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
I'm not doing a great job. I'm so sorry.
No, not at all, not at all. And I would say you don't even have to roll for it because there's a whole host of librarians at the temple to Cormyr, which in this city is sort of the greatest repository of knowledge.
I guess to be broad, she would just start with looking up what other races have written about the Sylvari dream.
Absolutely. So what you quickly find is that research on the Sylvari is slim to nil. The research that has been done by humans or Norn is virtually non-existent for Char authors, mostly humans. It is all sort of more observational. It's like journals filled with like interviews from some of the first Sylvari to enter human lands, and those Sylvari who have made friends among the Priory and sort of written down their own thoughts on the subject. They do have a couple of copies of research papers and documentation from early Asuran encounters with Sylvari from the era before Asura recognized the sentience of the Sylvari people. Some of them are observations from the inquest, others are from more ethical researchers, and they all seem to come to the same conclusion that whatever the dream of dreams is, it seems to be unique to Sylvari. It doesn't appear to be a physical space. So it's there were some pretty powerful spellcasters who tried to sort of force their way in through various means of both physical and sort of projection travel, and they were unable to do so.
Okay.
Elementals, there's quite a bit of research on elementals, the conjuring of them, the sort of physicality of them, the nature of the spells that conjure them and stuff like that, and they don't seem to really be connected in any way to Sylvari, although some early human mages theorized that maybe the Sylvari were sort of like planty elementals that were manifestations of nature's wrath or emissaries of plant-based entities, which is about as close as they came to understanding Sylvari until they were able to kind of sit down and hash it out with the Sylvari themselves.
Okay. And then I guess the only other thing that she would want to look for then would be any information about like the nightmare court, and also how like is the nightmare in a similar way like separate, like it's not a physical space, but it is somehow this like separate entity, but it's like separate from the dream, or are they like somehow connected?
So there are a couple of copies in this place, which is sort of like the Library of Congress, but just about anything that's been written that they could get their hands on is here. The only place that has a bigger collection than this is the Dermond Priory itself. Easy enough. You find a couple travelers' accounts. You find a couple of like memoirs from Sylvari that they've written themselves, and people who've traveled with Sylvari. The nightmare, the phenomenon referred to as the nightmare, is the dream. It is in the dream of dreams. It is a force or a sensation. Some had theorized it may actually be like a sentient entity trying to invade the dream, but the phenomenon that the Sylvari refer to is an influence felt within the dream that when they are present in the dream manifests itself through physical effects and sensations and visualizations and things, as dream substance often does. The Nightmare Court are Sylvari who, at the moment, they follow a leader named Grand Duchess Fowlin, which you've heard of before. This is Kaith's former lover. She took for herself the title of Grand Duchess and has formed her followers into sort of a mockery of human nobility, calling themselves the Nightmare Court. So you have a lot of dukes and lords and barons and things like that. Even though they hold virtually no land ownership. It's all just sort of like a children playing house almost. But these people, it was not founded by Fowlin. It was founded by another firstborn, and Fowlin just kind of hitched her wagon to his, but he has since passed. But the original sort of foundation of the court was firstborn who felt like the pale tree was too restrictive and too narrow in her philosophy of how to interact with the world and the Sylvari's place within it. I would say roll me an insight check.
Okie doke. A 15.
15. So you know your people. You know how you come into the world in a general sense. How different it is from other people, and you've observed humans and Norn and Char at various stages of their biological development. And it's with a 15, it's pretty clear that like at the time of the founding of this court, it was almost like a sort of adolescence for the firstborn. It was like a rebellious stage, and it wasn't like all of a sudden they just hated the pale tree and wanted to kill her and they're just evil. It started out as, I don't really like it here anymore. I want to go find out for myself what I need to be and how I need to be. And so at first, they didn't even leave the grove. They were just kind of gathering unto themselves with like-minded people, having like meetings and talking about it and kind of clustering together in their living quarters, and like they grew increasingly isolated. And it seems like it was a gradual shift until eventually, following the lead of Fowlin, they eventually decided to completely separate themselves and moved not only out of the grove, but beyond the region called the Verdants, which is just outside the grove, which acts as a kind of halfway house for Sylvari taking their first independent steps. They moved further out into the depths of Witchmire Swamp. They set up their own sort of mockery of the pale tree. There's this ancient tree that's kind of been hollowed out, and it's in like a sort of dark grove. And by dark, I mean literally. Like the canopy is very dense and there's very little natural light that filters down, as opposed to your grove, which is full of light and color and open space and bright blossoms. Theirs is a more densely vined, thicketed grove that is physically dark. And that's by design. It's sort of like people who go goth when their parents are hard right Christians. Like it's a deliberate choice to distance themselves from what they're used to and what their pale mother sort of impresses upon them as a way
It's
of.
not a phase, Mom.
Yeah. And what you gather from the tales as time progressed is that they became more extreme after moving outside of the pale tree's sort of direct supervision.
Mm.
And their goal is that by encouraging Sylvari to give in to their more basic desires and live without the artificial restrictions of the pale tree's morality, that they can increase the strength of this influence or this force called the nightmare. And one day, hopefully, the dream of dreams itself will just become the nightmare, and it will liberate all Sylvari from the pale tree's control. They view the nightmare as freedom because it is expression without border or without restriction. But among the many things that the pale tree does not allow is violence, overindulgence, like depravity. And so it's only by encouraging these things and participating, like reveling in these things, that you can influence that and spread the nightmare.
Did we not go do drugs in the grove?
You did, with a rather darkly hued Sylvari young woman.
Well, yeah, but like, do we not consider that, like, where's the line of depravity here?
The overindulgence and the forcing of others to partake.
Okay.
Yeah.
One time's okay.
All things in moderation is, where life goes, so too should you, is one of Ventari's teachings. All things have a right to grow.
Okay. That's
Right.
That's a lot.
What feature do you get at this level?
I get a feature?
I assume.
Some people do.
I don't think I got anything.
You may not have. The grab druid here. 17. No, yeah, druids don't get anything at 17.
You just get a spell.
Y'all's proficiency bonus went up by 1.
That is
Oh,
a
it
buff.
did.
That's
It did. I
17.
see that now.
So your spell saves are 1 higher. Your attack
They
bonuses
sure
are 1
are.
higher.
Level 18 is the game changer for druids.
Yes, it is.
Beast spells, yeah.
And you get timeless body. Not that that really matters, but like
It's fun as hell thematically.
Yeah, stay young forever, man.
Yeah,
Alright.
she doesn't really need, like, she's gonna, I'm assuming this is gonna have been over several days because, maybe she can read, but probably not super well. And here she is trying to read academic texts in a freaking library. And she's like, I don't know, it's dark in there. And she's like, there's no light. Where are these windows?
It's not
so
your
musty
element.
in here. And so she's like, almost like can't sit there for very long. So she's doing this over like a period of days.
Absolutely.
She'll definitely try to ask about like, so can I like check this out? Can I take this home? This primary literature that's like the original copy.
Because of who you are, they do make a note in a ledger so that they know who has it. But you are allowed to take it back to the manor.
Oh, okay. Then she would whatever she gets stuck on the end of the day, she'd like take it home and
Absolutely.
spend her days becoming a learner.
Couple of nights go by and you guys see like Kitri sitting in a room reading a book in a chair, and on the opposite side, Galatar sitting there reading the journal, and the lovely sort of quiet night reading at home.
At some point, Kitri's gonna have a little like the little glasses where she's like constantly like peeking through the glasses of like, what does it say? She needs reading glasses, is what I'm saying. There it is.
Yeah.
She wears them in a chain
little-
around her neck.
Absolutely. Little old lady half moon spectacles.
Oh, absolutely.
Lovely. Alexa.
I am doing a lot. Not a lot, but I got a few things. So the first fun thing I'll probably do in the first night. You said we had 3 days?
About that, yeah, a couple days.
2, 3. Anyways, first night, I will bid my party a good evening, and I'm gonna teleport back to my home because I picked up teleport.
Nice. All right, yeah, mom and dad. It's like the land that time forgot. You know, you're back on the farm, and it still smells earthy. There's still, crops to be harvested. Little like Asura droids are like kind of skittering all over the place. A couple of them hovering, just doing their thing, monitoring the crops, spritzing them with water every now and then.
I'm just gonna hang out for dinner and spend the evening, just enjoy the time, catch them up on anything they may have missed out on.
Yeah. Mom's, overly enthusiastic. Oh, honey, that's just delightful. Dad's real proud, lots of suspender snapping, oh, proud of my baby girl. Yeah.
And then the next day, I'll Bamf back before, because I have a spell for that. And I'll spend the night at home, but I will open up Demiplane, but I'll use my new 17th level ability to double its time the door stays open with not heightened, but I already forgot the name of the meta magic I picked up. Extended
spell
to double the time it stays open.
It's 2 hours?
Yes. So any spell that has a duration of 1 minute or longer, I can double it with 1 sorcery point.
Fantastic.
Up to a maximum of 24. So I guess that just
finding
means
that hour-long duration just a little too short. You really work on pushing the boundaries of your magic.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then I've also picked up Wish, of course. But I know what I want to be my first spell, but I don't know what I would do with it other than just because. But, well, I know what I would do with it. And with my 2 hours in the Demiplane, the first spell I cast with Wish is Simulacrum.
So, for those of you playing the home game, Wish is an odd spell. A lot of people use it in silly game-breaking ways that there is a limit as to what it can do. You are not God on Earth, but the way you can use it with no penalty is you can cause the effect of any spell 8th level or lower with no material cost. So Simulacrum, which would usually cost like 1,500 gold and ruby dust or something,
and snow out the butthole.
Yeah, like a 5-foot cube full of snow, now costs no money. So in your 2-hour duration of your Demiplane, you cast your Wish, and now there is a second Alexa, who does not have a 9th level spell. And cannot regain spell slots, but otherwise is a perfectly functional copy of Alexa.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do with this player-wise, but it was just, I knew that was the first thing that she would cast.
I'd say, to me, so the way sorcerers work, you're not studying it academically. You're not trying a draft, making some notes, spending some materials, and doing something else. It's more just an act of sheer will. And with wish, that's even more so because it's just verbal. And so at first, it's like you're trying to will yourself to be duplicated. And at first, it's like you're stretched by this like ethereal tether, but then you shrink it back into it, and it's like snaps you back together. And maybe even as part of that sort of research and attempt to expand your abilities, you discover the ability to shift yourself from one place to another and teleport. But then eventually, over time,
Yes.
you are finally able to substantiate that second version of yourself, but you do understand the limitations therein. Yeah, and I guess as part of doing this, you realize that it's less about the chaos that was sort of infused in you in Thaumanova. You are now able to take that unpredictability of the material world around you and just bend it to whatever shape you desire.
Now, literally, so with my own self.
Yeah. Well, and in a variety of other ways, potentially. Yes. And Galatar is doing precisely the opposite. Sitting with his journal and his notes, like taking copious notes, like all sorts of arcane equations, and like using bits of materials to cause magic effects and try to see how he can shift his will. Yeah. It's neat.
It is exactly,
I will say, if you guys come up with something really crazy that you want to do with Wish, give me as big a heads up as you can so I can really look into it. I will tell you things like, I wish the Elder Dragon didn't exist. It's not going to work.
Not in our favor, at least.
Well, yeah. But other than that, yeah, that's 2 very big spells come into play now.
Yeah, I'll think of some more. Well, I think long term I do know what I am going to have her do, but yeah.
Okay.
It's going to be exploring the ethereal plane.
Oh, right. Now, I also think that because it's the wish spell, it's an action. So even a spell that costs normally like 8 hours to cast is an action. It's another huge benefit that a lot of people overlook. It's kind of silly to waste it on like a 5th level spell, but if you find something that's like, normally I'd have to wait an hour, but I can just snap my fingers and it happens, that's kind of cool too.
You know, if Alexa wants to find the Eye of Janthir, we could always just, make
I mean,
a day
it's
of
in the
it.
back of the mind. It's definitely a thought.
Just thank God you can't cast other 9th level spells with it. Because that's something like the Gate spell. You can cast Gate and name a creature. I don't know if it'll work on an object, but a creature, and you can pull that creature to you from like anywhere in the multiverse.
But what's super fun, Ryan, is we've still got 9th level spells left to come.
Yes, you do.
So
So that is something to consider.
I mean,
And I think you've seen the Gate spell.
I think we have. Somebody used it, right?
Yes.
Kalinar did.
I've seen it.
Kala's
I don't know if anybody else has.
Maybe just Kala's seen it.
Okay.
We're Birdie and I on the other end of one. Maybe I'm just thinking. Maybe I'm getting.
Yeah, wait, didn't somebody
confused.
use one to, or was that last time? We did have one in campaign 1 or the first
That might be
campaign we
what
did
I'm
where that
Yeah,
happened.
campaign 1. That was the Archmage.
Yeah, when she was like, "What the fuck did you do on that ship?" and then she came and got you. It was very
I think that's what
Yeah.
it was. I think that's what I'm getting confused.
Yeah.
Okay. So, with that, a couple of days pass as you guys all settle back into city life.
Oh yes,
You're-
this is my Alexa too. She'll probably be quiet most of the time.
Does she want, does she have a different name, like how Kolinar had Townsend? I mean, I know it was just his last name, but
Nah.
so just Alexa too?
A2.
A2?
How are we supposed to
Birthday?
tell you apart?
Ooh.
She won't say much.
She's also not wearing a robe of
Yeah.
eyes.
Fair enough.
That's a good point.
Yeah, the now trademark look that Alexa has sported for a very long time. So a couple of days go by. The festival air of the city increases. things reach a fever pitch, and finally, on a late Friday afternoon, the bells all around town start to play. The clarion trumpets are blown from the city walls, and people all start to make their way to a grand stage set out at the plaza at the front of the Grand Souk, the big market in the merchant quarter, merchant district. And there, in the late afternoon, early evening sun, a great crowd gathers, and Marshal Traherne takes the stage with Ellen Keel, Captain Magnus, and the Commodore, Commodore Mariner. They announce the opening of the festivities, which I will not bore you with, but they wish everyone well. They tell you that there is a variety of games, and this festival will be held all through the night, all day tomorrow, and at the culmination tomorrow evening, there will be a battle of the bards. And with that, they tell you that they have arranged for a special treat. The Vigil Squad, who has created this song that has now become the toast of the town, will do a special command performance here at the opening ceremony. I will put the lyrics up for you. They will not be competing in the Battle of the Bards.
Right.
Turn the volume up here.
Wait, so the people who wrote this song are not competing in the battle?
They're not competing in the Battle of the Bards.
Can you all hear this?
This world has lived in shadow from a pair of demons' wings, but none here fear the future or the darkness that it brings. The monster puts on quite a show, expecting us to yield, but there's just one course of action when we take up sword and shield. Smash the dragon, drive it right back into its den. Smash the dragon, may it never rise up again.
It occurs to me this might be copyright material from Guild Wars 2. So
I can't hear like any of this.
The skillful and the willful each line up to join the fight. The beast may lead corruption in a swamp across the land, but we won't leave it breathing when our heroes make a stand.
can the rest of you hear the lyrics?
Smash the dragon, drive it right back into its den. Smash the dragon, may it never rise up again.
I'm getting it now. There we go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Minions come in dozens from the peaks and from the shore, but we face each wave with bravery and we'll never lose this war. In every brawl a few may fall, but more will join the queue. And if that lizard shows its head, then this is what we'll do. Smash the dragon, drive it right back into its den. Smash the dragon, may it never rise up again. Smash the dragon, drive it right back into its den. Smash the dragon, may it never rise up again. Smash the dragon, may it never rise up again.
Alex's audio keeps stopping. Can you turn that
Yeah,
back down?
I don't know what happens. I heard like 5 seconds of that.
I'm so sad because that was
It
enchanting.
is really weird.
Yeah.
It was so nice.
It's literally magical.
Oh, I'm actually going to put that down out there.
Yeah, I think my Zoom has trouble with sharing of audio. Or on my new computer at least.
This should...
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on there.
Maybe it needs an update.
Maybe.
Need a little update. Wow, I would like to just be like a pirate. That
We're
was
gonna
so
smash
good.
the dragon.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, right. That's
I
what
wish I was on like a ship. I wish I was in an Irish pub. God damn.
Yeah, I've been humming this song all day. I'll put a link to it in Teams.
Okay.
Or you can just look up Bash the Dragon on YouTube. It's up there.
Okay.
It's really good.
So the crowd starts to sing along, and you hear like the enthusiastic clapping, the feet stomping on the risers, and with that, the Dragon Bash Festival, the first annual Dragon Bash Festival, is underway. Vendors line the streets. There are streamers and strings of pennants and banners hung throughout the city. All sorts of like dragon pinatas and other like decorated like staves and spears that have stuck down in the ground with like paper mache and stylized heads, stuffed with straw, all sorts of stuff. There's music played on every street corner. And there are a staggering variety of festival games. You've got the classics. You've got the hammer smash with the bell at the top of the pole. You've got ring toss. You've got, as you guys walk through the center plaza around the crow's nest, you see there is a dunking booth. And the large black fur of Evan Nashblade, the proprietor of the Black Lion Trading Post, sitting in a fine blue velvet frock, just casually on this little stand is sitting there as children come to try to throw stones at a little trigger to dunk him in a booth full of water. There are small street vendors kind of just sitting with barrels with bits of plank wood on top with coconut shells, doing like the shell game. You know, follow the coin, folks. Follow the coin. You can sit and throw a bit of gold. Each activity costs like a small token amount of money, and there are little festival prizes being given out. There's catch a dragon by the tail. You walk around and you see a couple of places where little Asura have set up little arenas for kids about like 20 feet wide, kind of fenced in with just like bits of rope and twine and twig to keep them from wandering too far, but you blindfold them. And these little like wind up clockwork dragons are set in the air. It's sort of like a little helicopter toy that kind of floats around, and the kids have to run around and like try to grab the tail of the dragon. There's a big hulking Norn, looks like a Schwarzenegger-esque bodybuilder, standing by a series of 5 stone pedestals with large stones placed before each one. Each stone much bigger than the previous one. Like that Scottish stone lifting event. I don't know if you guys have seen that.
Yeah.
Stuart Gix has a little pavilion outside the crow's nest where he is playing chess with people as a carnival game. There are some other Priory scholars with little glass jars filled with seashells, little husky, tubby-looking quaggan sitting in front of it with a beaded vest full of other seashells. Guess the number of shells, he cries as you pass. There are foot races, there's pie-eating contests, and at the end of the day, the following day, there will be the Battle of the Bards. You can participate in all or none of these as you see fit.
What are some of these festival prizes as well, like for the competing in the games?
There are a variety. There are some, like the lesser merchants kind of just doing shell games. It's usually like you put a gold piece down, and if you win, you double your money. The dunking booth doesn't really have a prize. Some places are giving out little trinkets to people, a wide variety. You watch as one of the a member of the Order of Whispers, which is unusual. They don't often wear their full order colors, like an official outfit or uniform, in the public eye. It's usually reserved for ceremonial purposes because the Order of Whispers goes largely unseen in their activities. But you see this black red with gold trim person with a hood, like a hooded cowl kind of tucked over their head, participating in ring toss. And with 3 effortless tosses, they get all 3 rings. And the vendor shouts out, "We got another winner, folks! We got another winner!" And they hands him a small, like 5-inch long wooden toy ship. like a sailing ship that's been carved. Just hands that to him. You see people walking around with laurel crowns, having won the foot race. There are all sorts of little trinkets from all different games. A lot of people seem to be carrying around these little paper tickets. You watch as one boy goes over to do the hammer smash. He's maybe 8 years old, but he's got his sleeves rolled up, and his friends are cheering him on. There's a little curly-headed brunette that's standing there, kind of like watching him shyly, wishes him well. And he goes over there and spits on his hands, and he can barely lift the hammer, and he hauls it up. It almost tips him over backwards, but he manages to right himself and bring it smashing down, and it raises the plunger about 2 feet off the ground. And the sort of carny at the front, it's like, "Oh, it's all right, folks, it's all right. Everybody's a winner. Everybody's a winner." And he hands him one of these little tickets. And it's a lot of kids are running around with these, but some adults are as well. And you see them. You can go and turn them in at various vendors throughout the city. And there's lots of stuff you can get for them. Some people turn them in. You see them get little goblets of ale, little wooden mugs with fresh ale, or like a fizzy sort of seltzer water. Some of them you can turn them in for candied apples or bits of fried bread. A couple of kids are running around with what look like dowel rods, or like really nicely smoothed sticks with bits of ribbon tied on one portion, and then down below to act as a sort of like cross guard. These little like makeshift wooden swords. Some kids are wearing just very simple cloth masquerade type masks tied with just a simple ribbon, but they've got like a little bit of embroidery around the edges. You see people turning in tickets for those and putting them on and laughing as they link arms. Several people are running around with face paint from a variety of vendors. Yeah, lots of different stuff.
2 questions. Isabel, Franz, and Muriel, have they gone home?
At this point, yes.
Okay, and is Kolinar at this festival?
I will say sure. Yeah, Kolinar has made his way back.
Okay. I would like to pull everyone together, reach into the bag of holding, and pull out that dwarven whiskey.
Oh.
Good call.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought this might be good to start the festival with.
Oh.
And I will like take a drink and then like pass it to Kolinar.
Wait, Kolinar gets some?
Kolinar gets the
Yeah.
first sip?
Well, after he tastes it, he can make it.
Oh, he can do that?
Yeah.
Kolinar kind of looks at you like, I
can do that.
You summon food all the time, right? You can make drinks.
Yeah, that magic table thing.
Galatar and I could produce something with a similar flavor. Sure. He like takes a sip, like a smell. Ooh, that is delightful. He takes like a small sip and then passes it down. Oh, Mom.
Yeah, that was from Isgaren.
It's
like
dwarven, right?
It's poison. We're dead.
I'll take a sip of the whiskey.
Yeah, don't worry.
Yeah.
If you wake up and you're not a
might
vampire,
be-
all's good.
I mean, it might be the last of this in the world, so...
Yeah,
That's true.
fair.
Might be the last thing you drink.
You know,
Oh,
once
yeah,
we're all
baby.
together,
Drink it at this festival here.
Getting drunk at the Rin Fair. Let's rock and roll.
should we have gotten like a concession stand or something for like the tavern? I feel like there are a lot of competing businesses here that have set up like food stalls, and we don't
don't-
have anything.
Think we need to advertise.
Oh, the tavern
Yeah,
is
it's...
bumping.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
Tim's
there's
got
always
it
possibility
under
for more
control.
money.
Yeah, I feel
guess
like
that's
Tim's
fair.
fine.
Oh, I should have invited Tim to this drink. Now I feel really bad. That will
Don't
make
worry about it. He doesn't like these kind of
There's
things.
plenty left in the flask, unless you guys purposely
straight
down
edge.
it like a sip from
Tim's
everybody.
just like standing over to
Yeah, I
the
think you
side
said it was like
crying.
16 ounces.
Yeah, you
Oh,
got
okay.
like 16 shots, and you take 7, and it's good. So this is a fine, sort of peated whiskey. It has got like a almost a charcoaly kind of overtone. It's a very smoky, oaky flavor. It's very pleasant, and it's perfectly preserved.
Well, maybe we should make our own alcohol in the future too.
Well, I've been making moonshine this whole time.
You've been making moonshine?
Reno, where do you do that?
Just for yourself?
Wonder
And
if
you
the
sell it?
toilet is so weird.
Right, yeah, we got that one bathtub I never used.
Mhm.
Prison
Wait, is that
wine.
what's in that bathtub?
Yeah.
What's wrong? We all just go to the Cenobia.
I just
What's
assumed you'd been
scary
peeing in there. That
is
smells
it-
awful.
Yeah, I've bathed in that, and I just figured it was water.
That's on you.
Is that why my skin is so so dry?
Oh, I just thought maybe you had a rash or something. I didn't
I
want
mean,
to
I've
bring the
been
one to bring
lotioning
it
up
up.
every night. Don't get me wrong, but
Oh,
damn, that is scary, Brina.
That's on you guys.
is this like a Norn thing? Do you all make moonshine a lot, or is this a new hobby you picked up?
You know, we have a lot of downtime sometimes. I know we got a lot of
What's-
busy days, but
What's one
Oh,
ingredient that you
a
put in
Norn
this
ale
moonshine?
root
Water.
is a legendary thing.
Mm. It's a lot of
Corn
corn
huge.
up in the Shiva Peaks, is there?
yeah.
Big corn country in the snowy Shiva Peak
um,
mountains.
Endemic to the region. Yeah.
Wow, I never seen any up there. That's
Like,
really crazy.
Yeah. Anyways, I'm gonna go win a prize for my girlfriend.
Oh,
Where is your girlfriend? Is she joining you today?
That's a good question. I'm assuming she's around.
she had plans.
The abbess.
She had to wash
the-
her hair.
the priestesses of the Cenobium have kind of set up stalls and things along the bridge that leads from the city proper out to their little tower island,
Yes.
and she's sort of overseeing those.
Mentally, I was like, I would have helped her like set up in the past couple days.
And they have there are a couple of places around town where her priestesses have set up little like face painting stations.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah.
They give you a pamphlet once you
You
get
see
your
like the
painting.
lavender robes as they sit there and paint the kids' faces and talk to the mom and dads. Yeah.
Have you heard the good news, Alyssa?
Not really a need in this town. Everybody's pretty familiar.
Yeah.
More like, yes, you can be anything you want to be, child. Would you like to be a butterfly today? I can make that happen.
Okay, that's
We
adorable.
can all make that happen.
You have a wish spell.
As you guys walk around, you hear like periodically you pass a tavern or something and the doors open and there's just clapping and stomping and people are singing Bash the Dragon. Other places you hear other tunes, classic folk tunes, songs of battle and victory. Some Norn, some Char, some human. This place is a cultural melting pot.
I think I would like to play the ring toss game if that's the one that had the boats, like the little
Yeah.
tiny wooden boats.
Yeah.
How does one play ring toss? I mean, I
it
know
is-
how in real life.
Yeah. No, well, it's one silver piece to play,
Very expensive. Okay.
One
and you
gold,
make
here you go.
3 dexterity attack rolls.
Okay. So just your
If you get
roll
all
the
3, you win the toy ship.
Okay, so you just make an attack roll and then just add basic dexterity.
Well, if
Alright.
you have like a dex-based weapon, just well, yeah, as long as it's not magic. Yeah. So
Yeah.
so like roll a d20, add your dex and your proficiency bonus.
Okay. Ooh, which is now
Well,
plus
I would say
6?
actually don't add
That-
your
Yeah, because
yeah,
I'm not proficient
yeah,
in
just
rings,
make a
right?
dexterity check. Yeah,
I was gonna say, are you
it'd be a
proficient in
D20 plus
darts?
dex, 'cause
Is it like?
Oh, I am proficient in darts.
I would
I'm
say
a
go ahead
wizard.
then.
And for some
if you're- if
reason,
you're
wizards are
proficient
proficient
in
in darts.
Yeah, because it's a
Yes.
simple sort of melee, but it's a
Okay.
ranged weapon.
The first one's a 15.
15 does not make it.
Oof.
You watch as the ring goes out and it hits the,
Rolled real low.
tip of the spike and kind of rings off and falls to the side.
All right, I'll roll the second one.
It is deceptively hard.
The second one is a 21.
It makes it.
And the third
Nice.
one is, a 28.
Oh,
28 also makes it.
I rolled a
I-
5 on that first one. Oh.
As the 2 rings make it in rapid succession with the one missing, the crier comes over. Not to worry, folks. Not to worry. Everybody's a winner. Everybody's a
That
winner.
makes it
Here
so
you
much
go,
worse.
buddy.
participation.
Have your ticket. And he hands you a festival ticket.
Okay, but here, let me get this boat try one more time. I think I can do it this time.
He just holds out his hand. One more silver
All
piece.
The
okay,
DC is like a 30, gotta be
24.
like a 32, right? Like it's rigged.
No, because he made 2 of them.
Yeah, I just
Oh,
missed the
no.
15. I know was too low. First one's a 24.
Makes it.
Second one's a 20.
Come
Makes
on.
it.
Third
come
one.
on.
It's
And the
always
third
that
one's a
third
nat
one.
1!
Yes!
It's rigged. It's rigged. I told you. You can't win.
The first one this time just
Yeah.
sinks right onto the spike. Second one hits it and kind of rings around real quick and then falls down exactly onto it. Third one, you take your time,
Fucking confident.
take a deep breath. As you flip it, you feel it come out of your hand at the wrong angle, and it just smacks up against the side of the spike and falls down.
Okay, wait. Don't
It's
do
rigged,
this.
nothing
No,
to
Everybody's
take
a
another
winner.
I told you, you
Everybody's
can't
a
win
winner.
this
Come on,
game.
boys and girls.
No,
I think I can
I
do
can
it.
get this boat.
They make
no, wait,
the
no,
thing
easy.
my
different
boat.
than
No,
the
hold
ring
on.
is too big to fit around
No,
all
it'll
the bars.
work.
He does hand you another
Give me one
festival
last
ticket.
chance. I can do this. I got to believe in myself.
I got all night long. One
All
silver
right.
piece is all,
All right,
it takes. Everybody
Here's
gets
a silver
chance.
piece. You know what?
Third
I'm so
time's a
confident.
charm,
Here's a
Gary.
gold piece.
We would run this scam in the alley for hours on chumps like you who just hand over their money.
26 on the first one.
It makes it.
Yep. The
18
first
on
two
the
always.
second one.
Yep, it's gonna make. And then the third one's.
Did
Oh,
18
you
make
get
it or
'em.
no?
18 does not make it.
Oh!
Yeah, it hits and it starts to spin around. It looks like it's gonna sink, and then it just kind of like one edge lips up over it and it falls.
God, and that's a
Gally,
25.
stick to
Uh,
the spells.
I'd like to try this game.
Yeah, I'll just call it
There's
go.
like the same guy. There's like 2 or 3 stations. He's
Oh,
like,
okay.
sure, miss, come on over. 1 silver piece. Here's your festival
I
token.
hand him a gold, and I'm like, just keep the change.
Just keep them coming.
Ladies' generosity is always appreciated. Come on, folks, step right up.
Can I use take aim with this?
Yeah, if you don't move.
Okay, yeah, I'm not gonna move.
God, this game is rigged.
Kala just braces herself, takes a
Whoa.
moment,
no.
deep breath.
Gotta get a tab over.
I feel cheated.
If I see a nat 20 pop up.
I think it's just be a rogue.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the trick
that's
is be a
rude.
rogue.
Ching, ching, ching. One after the other. Bam, bam, bam. We've got a winner, folks. You see, it can be done. We got a winner. Here you are, my lady. And he hands you a little 5-inch.
Thanks.
It's not like an intricately carved. There's not like railing and like cannon doors and rigging. It's just like a. Think of like a pinewood derby car with very crudely carved sails.
Okay, now having watched Kala, I feel very confident I can do this.
Oh, golly.
I want to try one last time. If I don't get it, you know what? It wasn't meant to be, and I'll just create it myself later. Okay, so 28. 11 plus 10 is 21. And 24.
We've got another winner, folks. We got another
Oh, he
winner.
did it.
Look, I just needed Kala's example.
He's all out of boats,
I'm
though.
imagining the 21, though, kind of like rings around the rim a little bit, and he's like,
Little bit. Just like a hot second, but then it
like a
falls.
lot of pride laying on that one ring toss.
And now you have successfully drawn a pretty decent crowd here to see 2 members of the Trollskull 6. And now everyone's inspired. Just like
And then-
silver is just raining down on this guy.
I'd like to hand my boat to Sabrina and just say, this can be for your little moonshine bathtub. Now you can have a little moonshine bathtub boat to float on top.
I don't know. This wood's pretty flimsy. I think
Yeah, it'll
this
probably
would be
disintegrate,
probably
honestly, in
good.
that moonshine.
Yeah.
Yeah, just
Thank
consider
you.
it a nice gesture and take the boat, I guess, yeah.
I'll just keep it for my bathtub.
Also, we should drink that moonshine later. I did not know you've been keeping that.
Brittany uses it as paint stripper.
Degreasing engines and killing brain cells.
That's great.
All right. Does anybody else want to play a game?
I'll see. What was the other games? I already forgot.
There was the hammer smash,
Yes.
dunking booth, the coconut sort of follow the coin game, catch a dragon by the tail, the stones lift, chess, guess the number of shells, foot race, pie eating contest.
Us versus all the little Asuran children.
Definitely want to hit the dunking booth.
I'm interested in the hammer.
So there's no prize for this aside from dunking famous people. Right now it is Evan Nashblade, the
Only when Logan
proprietor of the
Thackeray's
Black
up there.
Lion Trading Co.
When's Evan Keel gonna be up? Does it have like a schedule of who's up later in the dunk
It does
tank?
not
or-
have a schedule.
Oh.
That's funny.
It is 1 silver piece to play, and it's just a dexterity check.
Yeah, I give him a gold, of course.
Okay.
And just a dexterity check. Is there anything I can magic on this?
This is a lower DC than the last one. It's a DC 15.
When you make an ability check that fails. Okay, if I fail, I can spend a point and reroll it.
Literally
All right,
bend the walls of
just
magic.
a dexterity check. Oh, it's gonna be kind of
I
crap.
will say, like, there is a bit of a marquee kind of sign above it. It says, like, dunk the captains.
I'll Alexa, you got this, and I'll give her a bardic inspiration. How about that?
That's a 8
D12.
to a 12.
Damn.
12.
You guys are high.
Oh,
level.
fuck. I'll use my sorcery point, reroll that.
Okay.
D20 plus. So wait. This is gonna work.
Is this Tides of Fate?
No, it is.
Whatever makes you roll on the chaos magic table.
Fireball in the middle of the.
Absolutely.
Right.
Kill all the people in the fair.
Absolutely.
Magical guidance. Okay. Nice.
That actually.
Oh, is that
Oh.
your D20 and the D12?
That sucked. Yeah, an 11.
Oh, buddy.
Yeah. Now you grab this kind of polished stone. Looks like they've taken it from off the shore somewhere. And as you hurl it towards the thing, it kind of goes wide and crashes against a bit of netting that they've put up to protect the people behind in the dunk tank. You guys all hear Evan Nash play go, ho ho there! little enthusiastic. Why don't you try again?
Well, if you insist, I'll fucking try
Before
again.
Alexa tries again, Galatar is just going to put a hand on her shoulder and say a little quick prayer to Cormier and give Alexa guidance as well. Just try and up the odds here.
And that's a D4, right?
That's a D4 you add on to it, yeah. Ooh, okay. Ah.
Yeah. This one goes
Right.
wide over the other side. You guys watch it sail over the bullseye. You just hear a faint sort of from behind. Someone goes, "Hey!" Piece
Yep.
of pottery shatters.
I'm done.
Nice.
I know when I have to quit.
Hey, third time's the charm. Look, it took
I
me
was
like
like,
4
third time's
tries
the
on that
charm.
game.
Raise that net back there.
All right, fine. Fuck it.
Couple
If I break
ignore
anything
and
else,
like raise
though.
the net up behind it.
And I'm gonna like really wind up. I don't know. I really don't have any fun spells, so like, I'll just like prestidigitate some flames behind it as I throw it. I guess like a firework explosion.
Okay.
Oh my fucking god.
Yeah, this one goes wide too. Like, well, it's not a problem. No, silver is always appreciated. Everybody's a winner. Everybody's a winner. And you get 3 festival tokens.
Woohoo.
Little tickets.
That was rough to watch, buddy.
Can I throw a ball at Evan Nash? Has he been dunked yet? Has he wet already?
He's soaking wet.
Oh, okay, good. Never mind. I just want to make sure he was at least dunked once.
So
Oddly, his very plush blue overcoat is perfectly dry.
Huh.
So what was the game with like that you can race kids or something?
But racing.
Well, there's a foot
Street
race.
kids? Racist
Uh,
kids.
There's a game called
It's
Catch
not
the
bad.
Dragon by the Tail. Catch a Dragon by the Tail. It's sort of are like winding up little mechanical toy dragons that kind of hover and flit about a ring, and they blindfold you, and you're supposed to try to grab it by the tail.
I want to play that one.
That's really
There,
cool.
there are adults playing it. Like there are some that are sized for.
Totally
for
missed that
grown-ups.
Ooh,
earlier.
should we have a
Jumped
team
on that.
competition? Who can catch the
Do you
dragon
catch it the
first?
fastest? Sure.
Yeah, why not?
Are we allowed to kill the birds?
Wait, what?
Words?
Can we destroy them?
The crier
Does that
says,
count?
No spells or attacks allowed. Like you're just reaching out to grab it.
Yeah.
Can Birdie reach it? They aren't
I mean, if
floating
I
too
can
high
reach-
for
No,
Birdie
they,
to reach, right?
they
Okay.
go up and down, but they don't go too high. Otherwise, the
Wanted to make sure.
kids wouldn't be able to get them.
Just thinking of you, buddy.
I can reach it, Galatar.
Birdie, he uses his pigments to make himself a pair of platforms that
You don't already have some.
platform boots that he's wearing around now.
Platform combat boots.
This is also 1 silver piece to play.
Yeah, I guess
Oh,
we're
yeah.
all playing it against each other if we can.
So yeah, what are we gonna do?
Yeah.
One
Okay.
dragon.
So
all of us.
for
How does this work?
it's one at a time.
Oh, okay.
So they put you
Oh.
in a ring, and the ring is about like 20 feet in diameter. They put you in the center, they blindfold you, they kind of spin you around, and you hear them cranking the sort of wind 'em up gear, and then they let it go, and there's a sound of flapping wings and a sort of mechanical as this thing kind of moves around the space in an erratic pattern, and you just kind of have to reach out and grab it.
Can we talk to them and try to convince them to let us all in there at once to see who can catch it fastest?
Yeah.
So
if we offer them
You
10
can certainly
gold to
try.
play,
Let me handle this call. Excuse me, partner. I don't know if you're familiar. We're the Trollskull 6, right? And we're kind of
like an
hoping.
older Azuran with like a big monocle.
Yeah.
It's like, hey,
You might
I'm
have heard.
familiar.
Help with the dragon,
Do
the
you want to
slaying.
play? It's a silver piece.
Right. We want to play as a group and have a little competition between us in terms of who can get to this thing the fastest amongst the 6 of us.
I don't
Now,
know.
I know you would probably
love
make
this.
a lot of gold from all the bystanders wanting to see the Trollskull 6 do this. And
People
I'll
might
just,
place bets too.
You might place bets, which you could cash
He
in
turns
on.
around and walks away. And he sort of like disappears around the corner of the little fence that he's put up. And there's like a small hand cart looking stall with a little awning that's kind of been set up.
Getting the pit boss here.
you hear him kind of conversing, and then a couple other sort of like 2 or 3 younger, more fit sort of come out like carrying what looks like a small set of steps, wooden steps. They just bring it out to the edge of the fence, and then this guy hops up on it real quick, and he turns around this little wooden megaphone. That's just a cone, like there's nothing mechanical to it. And he turns it towards the crowd, and he just starts shouting, "Come one, come all! Come and take a look at the Trollskull 6 as they all try to catch a dragon by the tail. Relive the glory of Or, the fight against the dragon Zhaitan. Come on, everybody, 1 silver piece to come and watch the show."
It's gonna be really
amazing.
His
Is there a
assistant-
betting market?
There's always a
you see him sort of just like taking not betting, but like almost admission to watch.
Oh damn! I wanted to bet on Kala.
His little assistants kind of usher you all in and take you to the center of the ring and start blindfolding you.
We're all blindfolded.
Yeah. Wait, doesn't Kala have blind sense? This game is garbage.
I can also see.
It was y'all idea.
Oh, it's perfect.
I should have thought it was
This
almost
is on brand.
Yeah.
rigged games.
Kala and I. It's a race between Kala and I guess.
Basically, yeah.
The caller is shouting out the rules. You have 3 chances to reach out and try to grab the tail. If you get it on the first try, you get the grand prize. If in your 3 chances you manage to grab it, you get a prize. And if nobody manages to grab it within 3 tries, you each get a ticket.
Right.
As we're walking in, I'm gonna cast Bane
God damn it.
on using my loot on Alexa, Kala, and Galatar.
Perfect, because I was getting ready to say, I put my hand on my shoulder and say a little prayer to Cormier to give myself guidance.
Key tree will actually it might not need it. Did I unmute?
So
I did.
if you lovely
We can hear
folks
you.
could
Oh right, we
make
have to make a save. Yeah.
a charisma saving throw,
A
please.
charisma save. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Ugh, I rolled a 15 save, which for me is really good, but I know it doesn't beat your DC.
What is your DC now?
I will
19,
add
right?
plus 5 to that,
Oh, you son of a bitch.
so 21.
You're a
Oh, I'm
broken
sorry.
character.
I am casting this with my loot. But you all, I don't. Hold on. I think that only accounts to charmed effects. Let me check. Or is it any save?
So wait, neither Alexa nor? Oh,
Causes its charge to be charmed. Yeah. So just you, Galatar.
Damn. This is going downhill so quickly. That's all right.
The
So
19
Bane
save.
is just a minus 1d4, right?
Yes.
So I've got a minus 1d4 and a plus 1d4 that I can roll against.
Yes.
Cool.
If she can, very subtly,
She'll what?
Kichi's gonna like walk up behind like and just like clap Birdie's shoulder and it's like, listen, I know we're not the most athletic out of the bunch.
Yeah.
I don't want us to make fools of ourselves completely.
Right.
Like I'm figuring someone else is gonna do way better than us. But
Sure.
good luck out there, and I'm gonna cast enhance ability.
Oh.
Okay.
So that would be at like 3rd level.
Okay.
And that means we're gonna get Cat's Grace, which is advantage on dexterity checks.
Damn. Okay.
Now,
Wow.
I will say, as we kind of
this.
walk in, as we're standing out front, I just got my lute out in front of me. I'm just strumming some tunes. Now listen, everybody. I know that this is. I know I can be intimidating, but I don't want you all to feel at all nervous or scared about what's going to happen here. And I'm going to cast fear in a tone on them.
On who? All of the rest of us?
Is fear concentration?
Go ahead.
Yeah,
cast it,
but
man.
Bane's not doing me much good, so I'm going to
That's
drop
right.
it. And I'm gonna try
and I'm
I'm gonna try
concentrating
and
on the enhance ability, I guess.
Well, I guess no. This is like even before it even happens, which would end before then because it's only a minute. Okay, that's not. I'm trying. I don't have too much. Oh wait, I got something else. Okay, we're good.
So at this point, you're all blinded.
Well,
Yeah,
wait, before
yeah.
we were... so we're already
That's
blindfolded?
fine. That's
I
fine.
mean, he's putting the blindfold
Yeah,
on.
we're blind.
Before he
That's great.
puts my blindfold on, can I quickly cast slow?
I was gonna say the same fucking thing.
You bitches.
Everyone can see that you guys are cheating.
You're cheating. You can see while blindfolded.
We're blindfolded. The
Hold on,
audience
At this
isn't.
point, the crier does not care. He's just
Right?
making, his
We're a
pouches
bunch of
are
assholes
full
with
of
each
silver
other.
pieces, and you watch as like the adults are like pointing. Some of them are booing as you guys are casting spells. Others are cackling.
Like, they're just here to fuck with each other.
So that
Exactly
means
what
that's a
we're-
wisdom.
Cole and I are standing
19
out at the edge
saving
of the fence,
throw
just going,
for
"Oh,
everyone.
I love it.
Kala, with your passive, your double ears hearing, you see like he turns to someone
I
saying,
got
"This
this.
is
Okay.
so on brand."
I'm gonna fucking
This is
power
like
word
this is a
stun one of you
Tuesday.
bitches. No.
Are you guys casting slow?
Yeah, I'm casting slow
I'll
for
fucking
sure.
counterspell it then.
I will counterspell your counterspell, bitch.
Oh, fuck, I forgot about that.
Damn!
And then I'm gonna cast slow.
Okay, so I guess all 6 of us need to
In
make
the
wisdom
same,
19
in the
saves?
same round, yeah.
Except, I guess
Now it's not
Everybody but
creatures
Birdie
of
and I
your
have to
choice,
make-
is it? Is
it's creatures
everyone?
of your choice
Oh,
within
okay.
up
Okay.
to 6 or something. Right?
Yeah, so the 5 of you need to make
But
what,
I,
wisdom saves.
yeah, and I guess 4 of us have to make them twice because they make them one against my save and one against
Fuck.
Birdie's.
Wisdom, you said?
Galatar and I only have to make one
Right.
save. The rest of you have to make 2 saves.
Both wisdom?
That's good.
Further wisdom.
So 2 wisdom saving throws.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm
fuck.
slowed.
I'm
And
still.
that is... Ooh, I got
That
21.
20.
Does this
That's
count as
against
being
1.
charmed?
No.
No.
Okay.
Picture's good on both.
Dang, keep your
Shit.
stuff.
Rita's just been minding her own business.
Freena's the most
You
innocent,
guys.
kind person of the group.
Rena, you feel like these odd shifts as magic is being bandied about in this arena,
That's
this
rough.
small arena.
Birdie's just over in the corner. He's just like, like strumming his lute.
Rita's like, guys, I
Oh
think
my
that we should
God.
all play on this game.
Oh my gosh.
Alright,
Alright.
hold on.
So
Okay.
only
So Kala
Alexa
passed.
and
Yeah,
Brina
Kitri
are
passed.
slowed.
Rena was at 5 and 16. Yeah,
Ooh.
Alexa
16.
got it from somebody. Yeah.
Yeah, Galatar or Birdie, I guess he cast it second.
All right.
Yeah.
Pick which one you
You,
want.
you two are slowed.
Oh, I gotta make one. Hold on.
Yeah, I rolled a 21 on mine, which I think beats
Oh.
Birdie's
Ian
save.
Field, what's that like? A prison of your own design. Crazy.
Yeah.
Right, half and half.
What does slow do that is gonna affect this
I don't know.
event? Okay.
Possibly
I'm gonna-
nothing.
I'm
Have we
gonna-
even learned about the
You
rules
have
yet?
you have a -2 penalty to your AC and dexterity saves. You can't use reactions.
We're all yelling at each other like this is no.
You get an action on your turn, so yeah.
You know what? In theory, it seems like cast in this game. I have no idea that would actually do shit.
Yeah, I think mechanically in this one, it's fun for flavor.
Yeah, it also overwrites my bless. So
Okay. Yeah. All right. So those of you who are slowed know you're slowed.
Damn it.
Yeah,
Yes.
can I cast? I mean, is this all happening beforehand? I mean, are we? Because I got some get out of jail free cards I can try.
I would say at this point,
Okay.
you're now blindfolded.
Yeah.
So
That's
I
fair.
want you all to roll initiative.
did I cast Meteor Swarm?
I wish a meteor swarm.
End this fucking festival.
Damn, I rolled
Oh my
Okay.
god!
That's good though. 24.
wrong butts though.
I forgot to click my token.
Oh no. My thing froze.
I did. Oh well, it got worse. But
Alexa.
It can only get better if I roll, so I'm not gonna.
What
Mine
was
was
Galatar's?
10.
24. I got a nat 20. But also, I can't get Foundry to load anymore. So.
Cool, I got you.
Thank you.
All right, I think everybody's in there now. So we're gonna go down the list, and we'll start with Galatar. I need you to make a perception check at disadvantage
So
to try
funny.
to locate this device based on hearing alone.
Let me double check. Pretty sure perception's -1. Yep. Okay, this can't be good.
start. Here
Okay,
we go.
that's an 11 -1 for the first one, so a 10, and then a 17 -1, so 10 is the lower of the two.
Okay, so you hear the thing moving, but you cannot pinpoint its location.
I grasp wildly.
So make an unarmed strike
Uh huh.
with disadvantage.
With disadvantage. Okay. What do you add to an unarmed strike?
Your strength and your proficiency bonus.
Okay.
Girl.
Oh, you add your strength?
Yeah.
Oh no. That doesn't seem practical for this game. Okay, so it's -1 and then plus. So that's a 19 for the first one.
It's effectively it's.
Yeah, so the lower of the two is a 19. I think I did that right.
It's like
14
trying to
-1 for
grapple.
strength. And then do you add your proficiency?
I think you're proficient with your unarmed strikes.
Okay, so then yeah, that'd be 13
Everybody
plus
is.
6 is 19.
Okay. Yeah, we'll just use unarmed strikes. Technically, it would be like athletics because you're trying to grapple the thing, but
Would it be
unarmed strikes is
acrobatics?
just fine.
You know?
No.
Ugh.
It's using acrobatics to try to escape.
Hmm.
So yeah, you reach out and do not manage to grab it. Birdie, I need you to make a perception check with disadvantage. 17. You also kind of hear the mechanical whirrings of this device, but you cannot pinpoint the location of it. So make your unarmed strike with disadvantage. Yeah, you grab and whiff. You feel the wind of the flapping little wings on your hand.
Imagine I slap Brina's leg. It's been like trying to grasp it.
Ow.
Get the fuck out of the way!
Off of me.
No, it's
Follow.
get the fuck out
Yeah.
of the way.
We're slow for
know-
no fucking reason.
Precisely where this is.
There's no
Yeah.
mechanical effect.
I don't have
in
to make a
this game.
perception check.
Within 10 feet of you, you have
Yeah.
blind sight, so you
Oh
you
my
see
Oh,
it.
I get to make
You-
a save
you have
against that again, I think, right?
Oh, yeah, go ahead
you
and make
can
your
just
wisdom
your,
save.
Your slow save.
So bad at wisdom. Not wise at all.
You made it. My DC is 19, so you're good.
Nice. So Kala, make your unarmed strike normal.
Although the game's about to be
Um,
over, so.
Yeah, can I also use steady aim on this?
I would say not
don't
for
let her do it,
this,
ref.
because part
Not
of it is,
this?
is kind
Okay.
of moving around to get at the thing.
It's like only going to be
That's
like
true.
a
I would have to
37.
move, I guess.
Yeah.
Like you need help.
20. You manage to reach out and grab the tail of the dragon.
Ah,
Man, what's the DC 20?
It was 18. Yeah, it's not a particularly dexterous thing. You just can't see it. So it's
Gotcha.
its difficulty class is fairly high. It's a nimble little critter. So yeah, with that you hear a shout go up from the crowd as Kala just sort of like, without even turning her head, she just reaches out to the side and grabs the thing.
using the force.
I feel like that was the most like anticlimactic thing ever.
But on point.
A little bit. So oddly, you hear a shout go up from the crowd, and the crier,
Yes.
with his cone. And we have a winner, folks. It's Kala from the Trollskull 6 to reach out in a triumph, grabbing the dragon by the tail. And as he continues on, he continues his showmanship of like, come on, come one, come all. It's a silver piece to participate. I will say with your passive perception, Kala and I would say Kala because of your ears. Kitri and Alexa have also, and Birdie have high passive perception.
24 passive now.
God damn,
Yeah.
son.
But
That's a little
specifically Kala for your hearing, and because of your familiarity with his voice.
Ooh.
You do catch at the tip of the cheer, the voice of Kolinar Townsend is
Oh my god.
What's
Guys,
up,
when are they
boyfriend?
gonna kiss?
Just do it already.
That'll be the final episode.
So as the little Asuran assistants come in and tap you on your knees to get you to bend down so they can unblindfold you, the ringmaster kind of comes over and presents to you, Kala, what is this? Catch a dragon by the tail. It is a very nicely kind of like embroidered, but also has like a bit of lace around the edge, like stylized as a border. A type of masquerade mask that you tie on, but it's not just like a flimsy piece of parchment or a piece of cloth. It's like an actual like ceramic mask that has been nicely painted in Lion's Arch colors. It's a little odd because it's not char shaped, but it is only for the eyes, so you kind of like work it onto your muzzle a little bit.
Yeah, I'll put it on.
You can tie it to your horns instead of around the back of your very thick neck. Yeah, as he sort of presents it to you, and like he struggles a little bit to kind of set it, but once he does, he turns around and just throws his arms up, and there's another cheer goes up from the crowd. You see Kolinar standing there clapping. Yeah.
None of this was a surprise.
Oh, Alexa, I'm so sorry.
Rita like slow motion throws her like blindfold to the ground.
Yeah. As you guys kind of exit the arena, there's just an inpouring of little kids. They're tossing silver pieces to the ringmaster, and he is just in glory. He is just loving it. He's
Good
overjoyed.
for business.
Yeah.
Dang.
So the Battle of the Bards is tomorrow, right?
Yeah, so it's like this is Friday night, the Battle of the Bards is Saturday night.
Okay.
Reno, are you going to do the hammer?
Oh, Brian's gonna do the hammer. Rita would like to do. Well, I would like to do the hammer first, please.
Okay. Yeah, so you guys kind of file out, and Kolinar comes over to the gate to meet you. As you guys all walk out, Kolinar's like he's clapping a little quietly, and smiling at you all, and as you make your way away from the loud crowd of children who are all cheering you all on as you pass through them. Kolinar just sort of leans in and conspiratorially whispers to all of you, like, I probably could have guessed that how it was gonna go, but well played, all of you.
I mean, I tried to find a better so I could bet money on Kala, but didn't work.
Should have fucking stunned her.
Yeah, you all cheated a lot too.
Oh, please, you can see
Hold
when
on,
you're blind.
hold
I
on.
played an honest game.
Hey,
I didn't even get a
that's
chance
the rules.
to try.
You just have to cover your eyes.
Yeah,
That's
it's a
the
dumb
only
rule
and we
because you...
followed
I
that
got a lot of
rule.
eyes to cover.
That's true too. You just
Yeah.
didn't get the chance to go.
Oh, I was not
Fucking
ready
hate
for that
games.
one.
Yeah, sorry. Slowed you down a little bit.
So you guys make your way over to one of the hammer smash poles. It's got a little metallic disc at the top, so when the plunger reaches it, it'll ding. You've heard it go off once or twice throughout the night, but not often. You quite often hear the pounding of the hammer and the sliding of the thing up the pole. And I will say, let's roll a d20 here. Okay. As you approach one of these stations, it is kind of in the public square arena near where you just were, which is not terribly far from the end of town where the Cenobium lies. You hear Kolinar shout out, "Oh, Carlisle! It's lovely to see you. Please, join us." And Abbess Fisher comes sauntering over with a couple of her acolytes behind her, in a brilliant kind of lavender festival garb with a dark purple shawl wrapped around her arms, shoulders and clavicles bare,
Not a
which is like a small
shoulder.
pearl necklace around her neck.
Heavens.
The sinful shoulders.
Hair kind of
Famous.
pulled into a loose braid just over one shoulder. And she looks at you
God.
all. "Good evening. Oh, it's a pleasure to meet you all again." She comes over to Brina, puts her hand on your cheek a little bit, and gives you a pat. "Always lovely to see you, darling."
Fine. Oh, hey. Well, I was just gonna hit the hammer thing.
Oh.
Now I am
delightful.
nervous, but I'm literally
Oh,
like,
don't be nervous. We know it's all rigged anyway.
ooh, that's what Bertie said. He used to
course.
be in the street gang. I don't know if you knew that.
I
It
had
wasn't so
heard
much of a
that.
gang. We were like a club.
It's like a social club.
Yeah, it was more like a gang, actually.
Ooh,
Kind of
okay.
narrows her eyes a little bit at you. As long as you're not being a bad influence on my Brina.
No, I would never do that.
She turns to you, Brina, and just kind of like gives you a wink.
This kind of changes her memories from time to time.
That's crazy.
And
Yeah,
Kolinar,
Bertie.
always a pleasure to see you, sir. And you, madam. Shall we? And they start kind of leading the two of you, or the rest of you, over. Kind of leaning in and kind of talking to each other. Like old friends who hadn't seen each other in a bit. And as you approach the stage, he sort of gestures, and Abbess Fisher makes her way over to stand more close to the announcer. As she turns and looks expectantly at you, Kolinar falls back into the back with Kala.
Brina does not make eye contact.
This is also one silver piece to play.
Sure.
Yeah,
I'll
As
give
you,
him
as you
that.
stalk up with your 7-foot height and your brawny build and your giant, like, wrestling champion belt.
I
I assume you're still wearing the belt of giant strength.
am, indeed.
Okay. The crier sees you, and like there's this moment where like he kind of quails a little bit. It's like, okay. But he very quickly recovers himself and starts grandstanding. "Oh, everybody, come take a look. We got Brina from the Trollskull 6. He takes your silver piece.
I give
and
him
he
a
tells
gold.
you, "Oh,"
We're classy.
I'm doing 10.
kind of holds it up and shows the crowd the generation, or the generosity of our heroes knows no bounds, folks. Everybody can play tonight, and everybody's a winner.
Or like she doesn't carry change.
He doesn't. He does
Does it have anything smaller than a gold?
not trust.
So this is this is just a strength check.
Well, this will be embarrassing if it doesn't go well.
You got
It's
this.
a fairly high DC.
Can you rage ahead of time?
We'll see how it goes, and then she'll decide whether or not.
Okay.
Oh.
Natural.
Fuck
20.
off.
baby.
Oh, look
Come
how
on,
easy
come on,
life
baby.
is for you.
Come on, baby.
Do you want to describe what this looks like?
I think, like, she has the hammer and is like really ready to go and gets nervous and looks back at Abbess Fisher and like The abbess probably smiles and like before she even looks at it, just drops the hammer and it shoots through the fucking bell. She's gorgeous.
Actually, yeah, we'll go with that. So you, in a almost embarrassed fury, like suddenly the hammer drops, and you guys watch as with supernatural strength, that plunger just rockets up to the top. You hear a loud pang, which is very quickly muted as half of the bell just detaches and falls crashing to the ground. And there's a moment where everyone's like, "Whoa!" and it gets kind of quiet. And then you just hear a dull kind of boom, ow, off in the distance.
Everybody starts screaming, running. They do not
all
know where
the
this-
people gather around. There's just this enormous eruption of ah! Everybody's cheering and thrilled to death. The crier just kind of looks at you and goes,
I'm really
"Everybody's
sorry.
a winner, folks. Everybody's having a good time. We'll be right back. We've just got to get a replacement part.
I'm really
Sorry for the
sorry.
inconvenience." And he sort of like reaches into a little trunk at his feet, digs around for a second, and pulls what looks like a blue and white ribbon with what looks like a big gold medal. And she's like, "Here you go." And he hands it to you kind of unceremoniously, and he just like dips to go find a new bell.
Oh,
I hand him like 3 more gold pieces before he goes. I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry.
Like catch him as he's running away, like press it into his hand. He's like,
I'm so sorry.
"Thank you.
Apologies.
Be right back, folks. Don't worry. We'll be right back, and everybody's a winner tonight. Line up and get yourselves ready." And he like hauls ass off. Like you see him heading in the direction of like the nearest blacksmith.
damn, Brina, that was amazing.
Holds up her little medal like it's a fish in a Tinder profile.
You all see that this thing is like turning, sort of glinting in the late afternoon light, and it is very clearly a wooden medal painted gold.
Hey, we wanted the
it's
medal
very
because it's
lightweight.
Zhaitan. I got one.
Like, little bits of like chips and flakes have kind of come off. The ends, like the edges, are sort of dented.
I'm pretty proud of
But
this one.
As you're holding it up and saying that, you guys notice Abbess Carlisle Fisher kind of sidles up next to her and puts an arm through hers.
Aw.
It looks very proud.
Brina just gives her a little kiss on the top of the head.
She blushes a little bit.
Where to next, guys?
I really want to take on Stuart Giggs in the chess thing, but I don't know if that would bore you all.
Ooh.
I
Yes.
kind of wanted to do
Yeah.
the
That
same,
sounds
actually.
pretty boring.
Ooh. I mean, if Lex and I can go do it, nobody else wants to come. Also, how is Stuart Giggs doing this? Is it like the thing
Where is
where
it
you know,
speed
like when there's
chess?
like there's like a grand master of chess or something. He's playing like 6 different opponents at a time, just like walking,
There
sitting
is.
down.
They have like a little Asuran wind-up thing that's sitting there, and as he makes a move, he hits it, and you hear the ding. Yeah,
Gotcha.
it's very intense, very grown-up chess.
Okay. Yeah, Lexi, you want
We
to go
get,
play?
like, Wizard
Yeah.
chess.
Cool. Do you want to go first, or do you want me to go first? Why don't you go first?
Sure. I, of course, am also going to cheat.
As you guys approach, you notice there's no crier. There's no caller out front. It's just Gix in a priory-colored pavilion with the banners of the priory outside, and he is sitting in a very lavish chair on the other side of a finely polished wooden table. The table itself has like burned into it the chessboard, and the pieces are like fine silver. And he's just sort of sitting there bored. There's no one in there at the moment, and there's just a sign outside that says 1 gold piece per attempt.
I like how everywhere else is a silver, and this is a gold.
Right.
Yeah. As you guys walk up, he
Damn.
yawning, looks out and notices you all approaching.
I think it's just Galatar and I.
Or are the rest of you not accompanying?
I think Reno would get like
Walk
a
over there.
I'm going with them.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, okay.
Oh, okay. Call just listed as boring, so you weren't sure.
No, we said it's boring, but we're going.
It's
Oh,
fun.
they're gonna make fun of us.
Weirdo.
He sees
Thank
the
you,
two
that's
of you
good
at least,
friendship.
and finally something that might be challenging. It's a goal to play. I don't play against Bukas. Come on, let's see if you can challenge me.
I'll
Who's
drop my
first?
gold
Get insulted
and
a lot.
sit down. And,
Always a pleasure to test your mind against another Asura.
And to that point, I will subtle cast Detect Thoughts. So, because not only is Chessie, obviously an open game, but I'll know what he's going to plan. His 10 moves ahead.
Okay.
Or try to, at least. Because I guess I will be probing.
If you'll be probing and not just using his surface thoughts, because those are free.
Well, I guess it's up to you. That's your call.
I would say his mind will be on the game.
Okay.
So I will give your check advantage.
Okay.
If you want to probe, you're looking for like deeper thoughts that he's not necessarily.
No, I just want the game,
Okay.
Let him win the chess game, but learn his childhood secrets, and then you're the real winner.
Right.
So
Why do you think your parents were so mad at you all the time?
this
Okay, so you're
is
still afraid of the dark?
a higher DC, and it's just a intelligence check.
But with advantage.
Yes.
Oh.
Oh, 20.
20. So you guys watch as this match begins, and at first it's very, very rapid, very confident moves. And after about 5 rounds, Gix starts to slow down a little bit. You can see like he's kind of looking out at each of you and looking very suspiciously at you, Alexa.
I am shit-eating grin.
The match proceeds, and after about 20 minutes, Alexa, you catch this nervous thought in his mind, and you are able to use it to your advantage. And with that 20, you are able to defeat Stuart Gix in chess.
Ooh.
And he crosses his arms and kind of sits back in his comfortable chair and says, "Oh, well now, it's been quite some time since someone defeated me. Well done. Very well played."
Oh, it's just like beginner's luck.
Oh, that was... You are certainly not a beginner. But still, a game won is a game won. Here's your prize. And he turns, and there is a large chest beside him. He lifts the lid. You can see there are a couple of wrapped bundles in it. He pulls one out and he sets it on the table. It is a small wooden chess set that kind of folds up into its own box with the pieces inside.
Oh.
Very cool.
Something from the College of Statics.
Oh, that's wonderful. This will be really fun.
Enjoy. Now, shall we see how a human fares?
Sure. I'll take you on. Probably
Very
not
well.
going to be as good as Alexa though. She was quite good at that.
He says, just drop the coin there in the box. I'll set up the pieces.
Yeah, you do that.
There's
Perfect.
just like a little wooden box with a coin slot on the top, and you tell it's like a collection box, so like he's not taking the money himself.
Sure, he's not. I mean, there's not money in academia. Did you want first move, or do you want me to take first move? Which is better, to have the first move, to not have the first move?
If you have to ask, this will be a short game, I think.
Probably. I mean, I've never played before, so I've seen
Well.
people play a few times. Like just now.
Good luck.
Thanks.
He turns the board. Please, take the first move.
Why is that better?
He just raises an eyebrow. So you go ahead and make your intelligence check.
That's a yes. Okay, 17 plus just straight intelligence check.
Mm-hmm.
Plus 5 is 22.
22. Okay, so for the second time this night, you see like he starts out fast, and then the game kind of slows just a little bit, and he starts really kind of eyeballing each of you, and eventually you are able to kind of deduce what he's up to, and you beat him. It was a DC 20, and he sits back again, arms crossed. Wow, consider me humbled. That's twice in one night.
Thanks. In reality, I actually just played all the same moves Alexa did, so I just kept playing the pieces
Well,
the exact
not
same
quite,
place.
but here's
Oh,
your
I thought
prize.
that just-
And
oh.
he reaches down in the chest. And it's the same wooden chest set that's been carved to be a self-contained carrying case.
So
It's pretty small. It's only about like this big, and it would fold out to about double that. It's like a portable little like pocket chess set.
Oh, that's really nice. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Courtesy of the College of Statics and the Priory.
That's very kind of you. Also very expensive.
And he sits back and strikes up a pipe. He just says, that's all for a good cause. It goes to the Priory to help us run the collections.
Ah, well, in that case, yeah, have 5 extra gold.
Oh, thank you. I'll put it in the box there, and we'll send it off to the homestead later.
Perfect.
Leans back and like puts an arm behind his head, takes a couple of tokes. There is no one else here.
So pie eating? How do we as a group feel about pie eating?
I'm keto.
What kind of pies? Are they meat pies or?
I don't know. Did they say on the game description?
As
Probably
you guys
not
walk
meat
around,
pies.
these are like blueberry and raspberry pies.
Those do sound pretty good. Brina, you want to do it?
I'd like to
do it
eat
together.
some pies.
Alexa, you want to do it too?
I'll watch. I have to, make sure I stay in this row. Can fit into it.
Color, are you sure you don't want to do it if it's not a meat pie?
Yeah, I don't think I should eat that much fruit. Probably not a good idea.
It's not good for you.
Yeah, it comes out really badly later, but
Further restoration.
Walking around, you see there are like 2 or 3 places throughout the city where these pie eating contests are going on, and people are able to direct you there if that's what you're interested in. If you're gonna compete together, these will be contested constitution checks.
Oh, you're fucked.
yeah, let's do it. I'll take Brina's constitution on any day of the week.
Peace.
Because I don't know what your constitution is. I have no clue.
Guess we'll find out.
I know Petrie's is high.
As you guys get close, Kolinar says, "Oh, I think not. Berries would stain my robes. It's really not my not my scene." But Carlisle says, "Oh, I could go for some pie. I think I'll play if you don't mind."
I was gonna say, don't let my girlfriend see this.
So it is 1 silver piece to play.
Okay.
And it's like as you approach this, it's set up. This sort of like long table is set up under an awning on the side of a building, and the building itself is a bakery. So you can smell like fresh baked breads, and you can smell this array of berry pies. Pretty sizable crowd. You can see like the table's a fucking mess, where this event has been done several times already. But the baker is just happy as a pig in shit. Like she's laughing. This like little older lady with like tight curled gray hair, kind of loose. It's not like gathered or anything. It's just loose with a little white like kerchief kind of tied around the back to keep things as loosely organized as she can. Skin kind of flushed red from laughter and kind of huffing it back and forth. Anyone who is participating can pay their silver piece, and when you are ready, just make we'll say a Constitution saving throw.
Oh yeah, here we go.
God damn.
All right, so just a straight up con save throw.
Yep.
Okay. Take my
So-
blade song bonuses off.
Right when we're starting, when like the little bell goes off, Kitri would like to wild shape into a brown bear.
I will say that is frowned upon.
Hang on, I missed that one.
Oh, let her play! Let her be a bear!
Horribly.
There is a pretty
So
tight
cute.
packed table under this awning, and the
Never mind,
table for a large creature probably wouldn't bear the weight.
Okay, well she's not climbing on the table,
Right.
but she
The
won't do
grizzly
it
bear's
then.
really
Okay,
big.
she'll make her Constitution saving throw.
Well, yeah, Latar.
11. Okay.
That's I didn't realize I have a +10. Well, I knew I had a +10, but I didn't realize that was higher than Brina's.
You have a plus
That's not-
10 con?
I do, because I have a +4 con to your +3.
Goddamn, son.
Yeah,
You
The
thought
belt of
I had a
dwarven
high
Oh, because that
con?
belt of dwarven kind.
Yeah.
Yeah, boost me up too.
So, you guys dig in with a will when the event starts. There's just a shout. She's gathered in people and she's really hyping it up now that you all are here. Kitri starts to shift, and she's like, "Oh no, wait, no, there's no room." And gracefully, Kitri accepts that. But you all sit down and tuck in as she says go. And like you guys are kind of like looking left and right as you all are just stuffing your faces with these pies, crumbs flying everywhere, berries spattering all over the table. Kitri, you come awfully close to blowing chunks. Like as you get towards the end of this pie, there's a moment where you're just like, like you're having to breathe deep and try to keep it down, but you do manage to finish it. The abbess is shortly behind you there. Like she polishes off that last bite. Like, I don't think I could do that again. But Galatar and Brina are just like one fist at a time. Just, nom, nom, nom. It's like watching a international like hot dog eating contest. Just and just by a hair, Galatar is able to get that last piece in and with his superior dexterity reach into the bowl and like detach the piece he wants a little more quickly. And neither of you get sick.
I feel nauseous though just hearing your description. Oh.
Yeah, well, it's a pie eating contest.
Yeah.
The guy's name, Joey something.
Joey,
Isn't it?
yeah, it's Joey, the Nathan's hot dog guy. What's his name?
That guy, the hot dog man. Brina is flabbergasted at Galatar's victory because that bitch is a beanball.
For a moment, there's a silence as everyone is just like, "What just happened?" And then everyone goes, "Yeah!" Just like clapping and feet stomping. The baker comes up to you guys, just like, "I think that was the strangest thing I've ever seen. I could never have guessed. How unusual." But here you go. As she hands you like a little piece of parchment. It's about the size of a 3x5 card. But it's pretty decent, like thick parchment, and it's got some very flowery script on it. It is a ticket. There is a public bath in the market ward just south of the houses of healing, and it's a ticket for like a massage and a sauna session at the baths.
Oh, nice.
Got that special. The folks at the temple sponsored the event tonight, so anyone who gets first place gets a nice ticket.
Thank you so
But
much.
the rest
After
of you,
that,
here you go. And she hands to the abbess and to Brina and to Kitri a festival ticket that you can exchange for some goodies.
Damn. Having enough of this brutish display of gluttony, Brina would like to do a game of intellect and play the find the coin rock game.
Okay, so there's like street hustlers like doing the like coconut swapping, and then there's the little quaggin with the like guess the number of shells in the jar game.
I want to do that one.
That is the intelligence check.
I want to do the quaggin one.
Quaggins are so cute, but I love the coconut.
Coconut
shell
will be a
game.
perception check to
Doesn't
watch
matter, both
the
of them are
thing.
bad.
Do them all.
Do it, Brina.
It's a silver piece to play the guess the shells game.
Okay.
It is a gold piece to play the coconut game.
Ooh.
But if you win, you get an extra gold piece back.
Ooh.
Oh, Brina, you're so great at betting too.
I'm really good.
Wait,
Brina,
so
you've got
the
like a
difference
1 in 3
between the
chance.
coconut and the shell game? What's the coconut thing?
The coconut is like find the
Perception.
coin. Like he'll put a coin down and he'll switch and swap the coconuts out.
Right.
And if you find it, he'll give you another coin in return.
Gotcha.
Guess the shells game is like a jar full of shells. Like
Gotcha.
how many are there?
Yes.
I should call it count the shells.
Yeah. Okay.
Count the shells, suck a duck. Sorry, I love the movie Dogma.
Oh, I would like Brina would like to count some shells to start.
Sure.
I
So
will
you guys
also
go
count.
to the.
I would
find
like to join them as well.
Yeah, the quaggin in the square.
Yeah.
As you
Low
guys all
stakes.
roll up, there is just this little like 3 foot tall.
He's so
Looks like a
cute.
cross between a beluga, like a dolphin, and a manatee, in what looks like a little beaded knotwork like seaweed vest. just standing there. Its broad smile and little black beady eyes, staring out at the crowd. It's kind of like thick, meaty hands waving at people to come on in. Ooh, pleasure to see you. Quaggan has a delightful game. You must count the shells in the jar. And let's see. You have 3 chances. Whisper your guess to me. If you guess correctly, you win one of these. And he points to, like, hanging on a little rack overhead are these little handmade, like, seaweed dream catchers with bits of, like, coral and kelp mixed in.
Oh, cute. And this is just an intelligence ability check?
Yes, so this is an intelligence check, and you can take a moment to count and then whisper your check to him.
Ooh. And you said do you want us to go ahead and like roll all 3 and just give you the highest number, or does it matter which one we get it on?
It doesn't really matter. If you just want to roll 3 and tell me what they are, it's fine.
Ooh. Rolling hot, baby.
Okay.
Rita like leans forward and just asks the Quaggan if she can have the jar real quick for like 15 minutes so she can go count.
Oh, like to take it away?
Yeah.
No, the Quaggan's like,
Oh, can I take it home for a minute? Or
Quaggan is sorry. The jar must stay here.
I was under the
You're not
impression.
allowed to touch it.
I was under the impression this was a game where we just had to count that shells in the jar. What a guess. All right.
So you lean in and whisper, and he goes, "Sorry, that's not it." You do another one, guessing slightly higher, and then another one guessing slightly higher. Sorry, but here's a festival ticket for your trouble.
Thank you, Quaggan.
The rest of you, nope, Kala. Sort of similar. It's like you have an idea, but the shells are all weird shaped, and you like as you're kind of like trying to turn your head to see around it, like you see sometimes there's a shell like sort of ensconced in its neighbor, and you're like, damn, this is, I don't know. And you are also unable to get the correct number, but you do get a festival ticket. 18 is the DC, so the rest of you, after a couple of attempts, you are able to pinpoint the number.
I got on my first try.
Yeah, each time the Quaggan says, "That is correct. Very well done. Have a lovely evening and enjoy your prize." And he kind of like waves, and there's this tall Norn that comes over and just like picks it up off the shelf, so the Quaggan doesn't have to like get a ladder, and hands it out to you, and just kind of nod, give it to you. It's not bad. It's pretty high quality craftsmanship. It is handmade. And there's like little different bits of colored coral and like dried kelp of different colors. Some of them have like little bits of shell kind of mixed in.
I'll leave an extra gold when we leave.
Generosity is much appreciated.
I'd like to play the counting the coconuts thing.
Oh yeah.
Birdie goes over, he's like, "Yeah, all right, sure.
What's up, bro?
We know this one, don't we?
No, right.
We've been around the
The
block."
kid who looks like he's maybe 17. It's like,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
yeah,
that's
all right, old
prime
man.
time.
Throw your coin down, see what happens.
I'll put a platinum on the table.
Oh!
He sort of like looks around for a minute. All right, sure. Let's see. And he starts to, all of a sudden, with no warning,
Yeah.
rams these 3 coconut half shells down and starts moving around, spinning them back and forth. You see a couple of times they almost like go off the edge of the table. Go ahead and make a perception check.
Ooh.
19. He ends the shuffling and throws his hands up. Where's it at, old timer? Tell me where it is. You get it back.
Did I succeed?
You did not.
Oh. Oh no.
Did the kid cheat?
I was gonna say,
Make a
no.
perception check.
I'm hoping he rolls high on sleight of hand and gets away with 10 gold.
26. As Kala is you like tower over Birdie and you're looking, you see the kid kind of looks at you nervously. Didn't seem to cheat.
Okay.
Dang, Brady got
He's
bested.
just like holding his hands up, looking at you like,
Fuck.
I put some stank on it for you. How'd
You
you
put-
like that?
You
Where's
put
it at?
stank, Barty.
You find the coin, double your money.
Double your
Double or
money,
nothing,
Barty.
folks. Come on up. Follow the coin. Find the coin, double your money. Everybody's a winner tonight.
You put the stink on it, Barty.
He did put the stink on it.
Is he going to let him stink on you?
You should
I tell
challenge
you
him
what.
again.
I tell you what. Yeah, you got me on this one. What's the legal betting limit for you? Like how much?
For the game?
Yeah, I'll go.
He
I'll
says,
go.
it's a coin to play, old man, okay? I'm not made of money over here.
All right. I'm putting another platinum down.
Put more stink on it.
Kala, you watch
more
see, like he
fucking
lifts
stink on it.
the left coconut of the three, takes the original platinum, puts it in his little street rat vest,
Yeah.
flips the other coconut so you see there's no other coins. Says, all right, put it down. So you slide one across to him. Here we go, folks. Here we go. Watch the coin. Watch the coin. Find the coin. You get money back. Double your money. Double or nothing. Come on, come on. And just like, doing his shit.
Birdie's like, Birdie crosses his arms at this point. He's fucking paying attention.
Okay.
Oh, there it is.
33.
Holy shit.
This time, you catch that there's this one move he does where he moves the same coconut back to its original position. Fuck, that's what it was.
Yeah.
So this time he throws his hands up. All right, Grandpa, where's it at? Tell me where the lady's at. Tell me where the platinum lady is. We'll get you another one.
Yeah, I fucking tap on, like, I guess the center one or something. The one I saw or whatever it was.
He, looks down and looks back up at you and looks around. Yeah, okay. Lifts it up. You see it's there, so he reaches into his pocket, puts the platinum pieces down, picks them up, and sort of, he doesn't throw them at you, but he just tosses them in your direction. It's like, all right, well done. Found them all, doubled his money. Guy got a platinum back for his time. Come on, folks, everybody step up. That's enough of you. Come on, folks, here, little girl, come up and have a good time.
Barty, give us some money.
Fuck no, I'm not giving him any money.
Barty, that was fun to watch.
You really should have cheated him.
Yeah.
I tried.
To the kid.
Oh, yeah,
to the guy.
to the.
Hey, we run an honest table here, man. I can't do anything about that. We got, we got the lion guard around here. Come on.
I thought about it, Carl. I swear to God, I did.
I know you cheated everything.
Yeah, only way I know that I'll win.
I hand the kid a gold piece because it was entertaining. That was cool.
Hey, thank you from the pretty warrior lady. Nice. All right.
I'm a pretty warrior lady. Ooh, Barty, he put the stink on it. Frida just
The
skips
abbess,
away.
who is still on your arm, is just like, yes, you are. Yes, she is. And he kind of stares daggers at this little kid who's just like, hey, we're all just having a good time here. All right.
Beat the shit out of this child. Okay.
I will catch you in an alley.
Was there one more game, like a running game or something, or did we already do them?
There's a foot race.
Yeah.
Yeah, the foot race, the ring toss.
I feel like
and this,
legally Paula is
lifting
not
of the
allowed to enter the
stones.
foot race.
And the lifting of the stones? Yeah, I'm not going to win in any of those.
Lifting stones.
Yeah, if Kala enters the foot race, I think everyone else should just be second, should be a prize in and of itself.
I feel like legally.
So you guys have seen a couple people walking around. You know that the prize for winning the foot race is the crown of laurels.
Oh, it's so pretty, though.
It would
Is
go
it
well
just
with your
like
mask.
a race, or is it like an obstacle course? Just
Does it
No, it's
matter
just-
for
just
you?
a foot race. It's just like a long straight stretch of the road.
oh.
Yeah.
No.
I was like, I can run anytime.
Kolinar pats
Yeah.
you on the forearm. It's like, I respect your choice. It really wouldn't be fair.
Yeah.
It'd be
Yeah, I mean the
fairly
dragon
funny.
tail thing was also kind of not fair, but I knew they'd all cheat too.
It is a silver piece to participate in the foot race, and it's if multiple of you are playing, it's a contested
what?
athletics check.
I don't run.
I'll do
it's
it.
athletics,
Fuck it.
not acrobatics.
It'll be funny. Are
Come
there
on, Ruff,
children
it's a
in there?
foot race.
Just running.
Race against children.
Are there children?
Running is acrobatics.
Athletics. By definition of example in the
Ah.
player's handbook.
Seems very
We'll try
acrobatic to
the
run
foot
gracefully.
race.
All right. Yeah. Yeah. So just mark your silver piece off, and
She's
if
like
you
the
want,
size of all the kids.
Karina's
Right.
pretty.
Alexa will do it too.
Karina ate like 7 pies, so I need at least 30 more minutes to digest. So I'll watch.
Okay.
You got this,
Same.
guys. Woohoo!
Yeah, you're not racing against like 8-year-olds. Like they
Oh,
group
darn.
similar people of ability together. I would say for an Azura they may make an exception.
Well, I was gonna say. So wait,
But,
I am with the children.
Yeah, you could probably race with like the teenagers if you wanted. But yeah, so anyone playing, just make your athletics check.
Oh my god.
Oh, fuck yeah, Kitri.
Damn.
Yeah. +6. Shit. Is it only the two of you?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. So there are a couple of townsfolk running with you, but Alexa, you even find like you blow them away. They're
Oh, wow,
they're
shit.
hoofing it, but you're an adventurer. You've been through some shit.
Suddenly, I have self-esteem.
But Kitri, like the starting call goes off, and you just take to the wind. It reminds you of running through Caledon Forest in your youth as you were first kind of getting your sea legs, so to speak. And just for a moment, like the wind like whipping past you, it's a glorious feeling, and you easily outpace the competition. And very, very quickly are approached at the end of the race by the caller for the event with a crown of laurels. It's 2 curved laurel pieces tied together with a nice green ribbon. And he kind of motions you to kneel down a little bit, places it around your head. And yeah.
I'll druid craft it to give it some extra blooms.
Yeah, a couple of little pods have closed up on it, and you cause them to blossom out. Yeah, it's a lovely look.
Looking good, Kitri. Well done.
I think that's one of each of the events except the Stones Lift.
I mean, I'll do the stones lift if we have to. My tummy's so full, though. No, I want to pick up a rock. That's my whole thing.
As you guys walk over, there is a big, muscular Norn. He's unlike a lot of other Norn, he doesn't have a long, braided beard. He has an incredibly thick mustache that kind of droops down the sides of his mouth a little and slightly curves out. But he is just this massive slab of muscle in just like a plain gray tunic, thick leather belt, brown trousers, and like heavy leather like hiking boots that are well travel worn. And there are 5 stone pillars, each about 4 feet high. Well, no, I guess for this they'd be about 5 feet high. And in front of each pillar on the ground, kind of resting in a little depression, are stones of various sizes, but they're all perfectly round.
Other stones.
And he is standing there with a little wooden cone, calling out to people. Come one, come all, come to Rokio Velsen. We do the great lifting of the stones. See how many you get. Lift, put on pillar, move to next. You get all, you win grand prize, but we give each prize for each level of completion. Come one, come all, everyone is winner tonight.
Throwing rocks is literally my favorite activity, so I mean, I'm gonna have to do it.
This is like you bend down and wrap your arms around it, pick it up, and put it on the pillar.
Oh, fuck yeah, dude.
As you get close,
Yeah.
Carlisle's so like she kind of like hops up and down a little bit and like pats your elbows like ooh. She starts pointing.
Yeah, no, I'll do the rock game. Okay. Woohoo!
Yeah, you will.
Oh!
She Like it looks like maybe she's had a couple tonight. Like she's like a little loose. She's kind of like bopping around. And every now and then people come by and you see like minstrels with little lutes or lyres playing Bash the Dragon.
Nice.
And just kind of like getting down, and people like little groups of kids are clapping when the clapping needs to happen, and she's just kind of getting jiggy
Pearl
with herself, you
sounds-
know.
I love it. I love it.
All right, so this is it is a gold piece to participate, and there
Yeah.
are 5 strength checks.
Let's fucking do it, bro.
So by strength checks, do you mean strength saving throws or like?
These are checks.
So you'd make I could make like an athletics check.
Yeah, athletics or just straight strength.
Straight up strength. Or whatever.
This isn't. Well, no, I mean it is kind of about endurance as well, because the further you go, the higher the DCs. I would say this is athletics. Athletics.
Let's do this.
All right, he takes your coin and calls everyone's attention, and this small crowd gathers around. You see your people start cheering your name, Brina, 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 and even Carlisle's like kind of like bouncing and clapping and saying your name.
Okay.
So,
I
check number 1. Very low DC. You reach down, and it's about the size of a cantaloupe.
okay.
Yeah, you could tell it weighs a lot, but you're fine. You just like pick it down with one hand and kind of palm it, put it up, no problem.
Okay.
Second check. Crit. This is about the size of like a big bowling ball, and much heavier. But takes 2 hands, but you lift it without any real strain and put it up. And Roki's like, all right. This is one of the best attempts of the evening. Not many people get further than this, but you are known, so you are strong. The spirit of bear is flowing through you. We see how she do, yes? And
I
this
just
big
love this.
cheer from the crowd.
Fucking dude. Thank you. Okay. I think. All right. Fuck it. Hang on.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Third check. You reach down, and this is about the size of like a small. It's about the size of like a. I'd say bigger than a basketball. Like a really small beach ball, maybe. But you grasp it between both of your hands. And you feel it like start to stick a little bit, but you are able to lift it up and place it, and it's a strain, but it's not terrible.
Okay.
Big cheer goes up, and Roki's pumping his fist like, all right, yes, you're very, very strong.
Thank you. For these last 2, I would like to rage.
Okay.
This
Oh.
fucking party.
Is there any showmanship involved with this?
There's gotta be.
As
Come on,
Carlisle is bouncing up and down, her blonde braid kind of flapping in the breeze as she's like clapping and Brina.
I think Brina too is probably.
You
a little
literally did
small.
this
I'll
and
even-
disappeared on Zoom.
I'll even go like, yeah, Brina, lift those rocks. You've been traded, and I'll give her a bardic inspiration.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I think she starts to rage, and I do think Brina's gently sauced at this point in the evening as well. You need all the alcohol to soak up all the pie. That's definitely how it works.
Yes.
So we get to the 4th rock, and she's just like, "Oh ho ho! Let us go! This is my favorite hobby." And we'll see how it goes.
Oh.
Natural 20.
Fuck
So this
yeah.
is like the size of a good sized beach ball. And you can't even grab it with your hands. You squat down and kind of wrap your arms underneath it, hug it to you, and lift bodily. And it's incredibly heavy, but you lift it up as you intake your breath. As you exhale, you manage to set it on the pillar. And there's this huge cheer from the crowd. And Hiroki like runs over and like grabs your hand and holds it up in the air. Like, yes! We know are not very, very strong. This is very well done. almost no one gets further than this. This is a great feat of strength. It's very difficult.
Yeah.
But there is one final stone only the greatest of champions is able to lift. Brina, make your attempt.
Oh,
And he's like,
let's
he
go.
flexes for some reason, and it's just like pumping up the crowd.
Oh yeah. Like
People are
he
going
flexes
nuts.
too. Oh fuck yeah. Brina's into it. Brina's fucking into it. Champion of the Great Hunt, Slayer of Isormir. I am here to lift this big fucking rock. And, we'll see how it goes. I would also like to add that bardic inspiration.
Okay.
Roll it D12.
Come on.
D12. That's a 6 on top of it. 35.
Damn.
So this is like height-wise about as tall as your torso, and you can't even like really scoop underneath it. You wrap about around the lowest part you can below the equator of this massive spherical stone, and it's insane. Like you look over and you see Carlisle, who is like nervously like tense, like genuinely kind of like, oh my god, and you feel your hands curl around this stone, and you hear the breath of the winter wind in your Shiver Peaks mountain home. You feel the stones beneath your feet. You hear the cracking of the ice as the Isormir worm reared above you. You grip your hands, and you all hear like this loud crack as your fingers dig into the stone.
Bro.
And with a mighty heave, you lift and place it up on the pillar, and the crowd goes insane. Carlisle's just like screaming. Her veins are popping out. Her skin's flushed red. You turn around and you guys see like Brina's like veins in her arms are throbbing. Her muscles are like all clenched. She got a little
Rip it, baby.
just enough sweat to be like glistening. And Hiroki's just like losing his he's nonplussed. He can't even react. It takes him a second to recover, and he's like, yeah! And he comes over and grabs you, gives you a big bear hug,
Oh yes.
and then holds up in one hand this big like leather baldric, and stamped across it is Dragon Bash Legend. He's
Like a
like,
WWE belt.
pretty much, like goes from like shoulder to hip. Yeah,
yeah, bring
Put that in the bar.
like Grand Champion of Dragon Bash. No one will top this festival. You have my word on that. So he hands that to you.
Whew. This is the best day of my life.
And you can see, like, as you walk around and you're kind of showing off the belt, you can see there is a wooden stall behind all this with an angled platform where you can see the other prizes for if you only get a couple of these. Wherever you stop in the process, that's the prize that you get. And if you just get the first one, you get this little like fake handlebar mustache with a string to tie on your face,
It's really cute.
like a strongman mustache. If you get the second one and you can't go any further, you get a headband that has like some knotwork embroidery, like in the Norn fashion. The prize for getting to the third tier is a wooden talisman on a leather cord that's the head of the spirit of bear. It's the same symbol that appears in like the Havern's Temple, the Great Lodge to Bear in Holbrack. And for step number 4, if you had stopped one shy of the Grand Championship, there's just like an oversized silver belt buckle that says Mountain Strong in old Norn runes.
Wow.
It's funny. That's funny. Oh god. Fuck yeah, dude. Brina's content. Best day of her life. Let's go.
For like a hot second, there are a couple like little kids that break through the line and just start like climbing you, and they're just like laughing and giggling and cheering.
Anyone within like 5 feet of her for the next hour, like she will pick them up.
just let's start kettle lifting them.
Woohoo!
Yeah, the kids go nuts, and there's just like a constant little crowd for the remainder of the evening.
Are there any games for which the prize is like one of those massively just oversized, ridiculous stuffed animals?
I don't have any with stuffed animals for prizes, unfortunately. That's a relatively
nuts.
modern invention. Like they do have stuff that's like stuffed with cloth, but I don't know that they have like stuffing.
Okay.
Probably would. But I don't have any prepared. I would say like you could probably find something, and either through competition of the night or just like slipping the guy a gold piece, you could get one.
Yeah.
I love that image of super late night. You know, the festival's kind of winding down. It's like 3 in the morning, and you guys are all just like staggering through the streets, a little bit drunk, full on good food. Those of you with SOs got them on your elbows, and Keytree just clutching this massive, probably like a big blue bunny rabbit or something with like big floppy
It's a teddy
ears.
bear.
Teddy bear.
She's like, guys, it's like bear tree, get it?
I like
get
it.
you home.
That's a good one.
Yeah. At some point, you guys do pass by the stage again, where the starting of the ceremonies began, and there is a poster where you can sign up for the Battle of the Bards.
Oh.
And you see
yeah.
that there are 3 other bards who have signed up.
Anybody I know?
Ozymandias.
Ozymandias.
He's back. He's back. He's back.
He's back.
Let's see. Make an intelligence check just to see
Well, I
if you
don't know
remember
them.
any of these.
Why would I? They're beneath me, and I wouldn't.
That was kind of my thought. Is like, would you bother remembering?
Nah, I mean, if I don't know. I'll let you. I might remember
No.
one. Is like.
I would say with a 13. One of the names rings a bell. It's Atlona, Atlona. It is a female char. You've never met her, but you've heard of her when you spent some time in the Citadel and at Smokestead.
Yeah.
She does like war chants and has like a small drum, but most of her shtick is like audience participation in telling stories and getting them to kind of chant along.
Right.
She has kind of like she just does a really good like haka.
Is this like we are all performing the same thing? Who does it best,
No.
or is it just
No,
okay? It's just whatever you want to
get
perform.
up. Yeah,
okay.
it's kind of a subjective
Okay.
thing. Like they're gonna have people clap or
Right.
vote or something.
Okay. Yeah. I got you.
Battle of the Bands, dude. Bring
I
back
will
the
say-
word.
I don't know what time do we want to like what time. Birdie will definitely sign up, 100%. I actually think he uses his like marvelous pigments, and it's like signed in this like pink iridescent glitter that like as you look at it, it like shimmers in different ways.
Very
Puts a
nice.
little heart on the end of it.
Yeah. So
But
this
I don't
is
know what
scheduled
time
to
it is.
start. The closing ceremonies for the festival will start at sunset the next
Right.
day,
Okay.
and the Battle of the Bards will be the culmination.
Okay. I will say, is it like evening now after this like festival type thing, or?
I would say you come across the sign-up sheet earlier in the evening,
Right.
but when your evening is over, I expect it would be like 3 in the morning, because
Okay.
you guys aren't going to go home early.
I will say, as we all kind of pull into the tavern for the evening, Birdie has been like choreographing and like thinking about this through most of the fair, and he's gonna sit everybody down at the table at the tavern. Oh, I just need your attention for one moment. One moment. I have decided that to really bring my performance to the front of whoever may be performing, I would like to request a little bit of assistance. Keytree, we're gonna need you Alexa, we're gonna need you. Galatar, not so much, but we'll catch you on the next one, I promise. We're gonna have you on standby.
It's fine.
We might
No worries.
we might need Brina. Kala, I don't think quite so much, but I'm gonna need some magic people. And how I would like this to do is Birdie spends like a couple minutes walking through what he would like his vision of how this happens and what he would like his friends magically to assist him with and like to do. And then when we get to the actual Battle of the Bard, I have gone through people's things, and I would like to like control them like in terms of like being able to use like as like describe thematically during the Battle of the Bards what everybody's doing for Birdie's performance in terms of like Kitri is casting this spell and Alexa is doing this, instead of telling them now, trying to organize that, like kind of for that moment be able to puppet control them for flavor.
Yes.
of what Birdie's performance looks like.
Okay.
If I can do that.
It's up to you guys.
I
don't have a
consent.
problem with it.
Yeah. So would you consent to me puppeting your like using your characters to cast various spells in terms of Birdie's performance at the Battle of the Bards?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Cool.
Giving
cool,
him
cool.
too much power, Ryan.
I think it's gonna be really good. I'm excited. That's all. And then but to justify that, I think he spends a little bit and he kind of is describing what he needs Kitri to do and what he needs Alexa to do, and that kind of stuff. And then when we get to it, they'll do different things.
Okay. Yeah, so you guys take care of that at the later end of the night. You're walking home. Eventually, you find your way to restful sleep. And then the next day dawns, and after a breakfast, the festival goes strong. It starts up around like 9-10 in the morning as people's stalls start to open and folks start walking around, and eventually the games pick back up. As you roll around town, there are kids in face paint that are like squabbling over little prizes that they've gotten. You pass like a char whose horns have been wrapped in like red and white ribbons to be striped like kind of like candy canes. Bells sort of dangling from their horns and ears, playing what looks like a little flute, and just sort of like it's the Dragon Bash song, but as they hop and sort of like bounce through the square, there's just like a line of children and teens and some young adults who are just sort of like
Piper.
doing like a little conga line, just trailing behind him, dancing and laughing. You see some of them break off and go do other events, and others join in, and it's sort of like a jester passing through town. There are people on stilts, kind of stonking around all day, and every now and then you see like they'll stop and reach into a little sack and like start handing like baked goods, cinnamon rolls, candied apples and things down to people. Occasionally they'll shout out like, "Oh, go and get your candy apples from like Bob's Candy Apple Stand down on the street by the docks." It's just all sorts of festival stuff.
I want to know, is Melody Marshgrass around?
I would say you don't see her walking around in like other parts of the town. But if you want to walk down to the dock district, the harbor ward, and look for their shop, I mean that's usually where she is.
No, I mean I don't need more drugs yet.
Okay.
Is there meat on a stick at this festival?
Oh, all over the
Okay.
place. Yeah, at some point as you guys are walking around, you just pass like a small group of lion guard who are smiling and laughing with each other, and as they pass each of you, they stop and briefly like do a crisp salute. And as you guys kind of move off, they start laughing again, and one of them just says, "Hope you're having a delightful day, my lords." And they continue on their way. Pay you a little bit of respect. At some point, you guys pass like a little street wizard just doing like sleight of hand tricks, and you watch as he shakes his hand quickly, and there's a puff of glitter, followed by a little like spectral version of Bertie,
Yes.
like doing a dance with a little lute. There's no sound, but it's just like a little hologram sort of deal of Bertie dancing a jig. And there's just like a little crowd of children that are giggling with delight. Kitria, as you kind of walk around the northern part of town one day, just exploring, you happen to be near the temple to Melandru, Melandru's garden, or Melandru's menagerie is, I think, Fallon's store.
I thought it was Melandru's Grace that was.
That's right.
Fallon's
Melandru's
store.
Grace is the store. Let me check. It is the old city. The market ward. It's just called the Menagerie. Is the temple to the goddess Melandru.
Okay.
It's on the north road out of town, but it's in the same district as the Trollskull Tavern. And as you guys are kind of just making your way, touring around, seeing what's available, as you pass by there, giant sunflowers kind of burst up from the ground as you get close to the temple walls, and they just start singing. It's just like a pleasant, but they're singing Bash the Dragon, and it's this beautiful little harmony. And as you pass by, they sort of shrink and disappear back into the ground.
I want to think that it's like a very high-pitched voice.
It's a variety. Some of them are like the bigger ones are deeper, and the smaller ones are much higher.
I just want to think it doesn't sound exactly like when the deep-voiced men sing it.
You know, it's women, and some of them even sound like younger voices. But yeah, it's a pleasant variety. As Saturday evening closes in, the sun kind of westers and begins to sink, and the light begins to go down. It's pretty later in the day because it's getting close to what would be like early June at this point. As things start to dim and the crowd starts to head towards the bandstand, you hear from suddenly behind you shouts and like faint cries of alarm, but also followed by laughter and giggling as you hear overhead the dull, distant roar. And as you turn to look, a hologram, a spectral image of a dragon, flies overhead, sort of dipping through the air, not really flapping its wings in a manner that would actually be functional, but just like a slow moving image, an illusion flying through the air towards the bandstand, kind of zigzagging and guiding people towards the stage.
Yeah, that's getting too close to hubris for me.
A couple of children kind of shriek a little bit, and you hear some concerned mothers kind of voice the same sentiment, like, "Oh, it's a bit much. Come on, it's okay, honey."
People died. A lot of people died, guys.
Like the Boston Massacre Halloween costume.
Yeah. So you guys eventually make your way to the bandstand, and the Battle of the Bards begins. There's a brief sort of address as the closing ceremonies are announced. They thank everyone for participating. They thank the merchants and the travelers. There is a brief moment of silence for the fallen in remembrance of those who gave their lives to protect our lands, our homes, our families. And then Commodore Mariner takes the stage and introduces the event, the Battle of the Bards, a time-honored tradition in the pirate city of Lion's Arch, and to the great joy and delight of the crowd, Atlona is the first to take the stage. And she tells the tale of the storming of the beaches of Ore. She uses her drum and the occasional chant for emphasis. She has call and response from the audience, and it's done to great effect. She is followed by a young human male. It looks to be like 19 or maybe 20. He's a fairly young man whose name is just Reese. He doesn't really have a title or an epithet at this point. And he has a little ballad of his own writing. It's a very slow, not melancholy, but like a deep ballad of feeling. And when he's done, there's not a dry eye in the audience. Third, a large, athletic but not overly bulky Norn man, billed as Callan the Courageous, takes the stand. He pulls out a very large lute that actually has 2 necks, so it's like a 12-string lute. And you watch as his large but very nimble hands start ripping up and down. It's like watching Tenacious D. It's like an electric guitar concert on an acoustic. But he is very talented, and he starts telling tales of the heroic slaying of Zhaitan, and you guys are all listening to this, and it's describing your battle. And it's interesting because there are a couple of times where it's pretty close. There are some key moments, like things you dodged or times that you didn't. But then there's just absurd things, like some of you climbing on top of it and tweaking its eyelashes and pulling scales from its tail. Just really like kind of taking it to task. But it is well received. Eventually, it does make it to Bertie. So Bertie, if you would like to describe your efforts.
I like to think that we're like in the stands, like nervously waiting for him to go on because I, Paige Looney, am nervous.
I guess like Keetri and I are behind the scenes.
Yeah.
So yeah, Keetri and Alexa are behind the scenes. First things first.
Yeah.
Alexa is gonna cast a spell on me. And Ryan, I'm just gonna send you the spell.
Okay.
Okay. So just so it's on record, just so we have a paper trail. Okay. And I'm gonna say that during the day, one thing I would like to have picked up is like and if you're gonna, I would ask for a little bit of flexibility in terms of some of these spells, just because they weren't made for show, they were made for combat. So,
okay.
It's all going to be very reasonable, though, I think. So, I would have liked to pick up like a pink, like smoke bomb, like a hot pink smoke, smoke thing. Is that something I could have found? If not, we can make adjustments.
We'll say yes, because it's really just some burning powder and some coloring.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay. So I think Bernie goes out. I'm gonna say Brina on the side, like kind of lights this.
You've also got your triangle of silent image that can just cast up.
Maybe. I think the effect, if you see where I'm going with this, is going to be a bit more dramatic if it's real smoke.
Okay.
Because the smoke bomb goes off, and then you see like Keetri in the side of the corner, and you watch as like the wind begins to blow, and in the distance there's like of thunder and like some lightning starts to happen as she's controlling the weather to make like a gentle little thunderstorm a distance away, perhaps. Okay. No, don't look at the spell. Okay. Don't look at the spell. So, and Bertie walks out onto the stage as this like pink smoke is now like kind of whirling around the area, so thin enough that it's just like a little bit of a haze. And he starts playing. Probably what would be, he's got his lute, his like rendition of like I Need a Hero, essentially. And so he's got this basically like pink outfit. It's like a glitter suit, but with like a really long pink cape. Okay. And so he starts playing this song and he goes into it, and it's like I Need a Hero, basically. And the smoke's whirling around him, and he like struts out into the audience off the stage, like into the stone, with this like Vabian lute sound of his being like, like amplified and echoed. And all of a sudden, you all kind of lose sight of him in the crowd for a minute. But then he starts to rise as Keatries does like a very gentle pillar of stone, and he's like standing on it, and he's like twisting up above the people. He's like moved the stage to the center, and then as he's like hitting the stride of this song, he starts to fly backwards towards the stage, as Alexa had cast Fly on him. And right when he casts Fly, Alexa's programmed illusion, which she casts using Wish, goes off, and his like long pink train turns into like this dragon, this like pink dragon that is like swirling around him, along with all these like little glittery mini birdies that are like fighting it and like sending spells at it and like fighting this dragon as he's like turning in the air, and then he like finishes the song mid-air and just like waits, the crowd, I'm assuming, going crazy, and then just like dimensions door in like a shower of glitter silent illusion, and is gone.
Okay.
That
so
is
what I'm gonna do is
performance.
I'm gonna have you make 3 checks.
My face hurts.
Insight to read the crowd and try to learn like what is it that's going to get to
Right,
them.
get the-
and you
get
have all
the-
3 songs before you to kind of ingest this. So that's your insight roll.
Okay. Please, dice gods. 31.
31. Okay. The second check is and we'll say an Arcana check. Something with intelligence that's taking what you've learned from the audience and from the prior performers and deciding like how to apply that information to your performance to get the most out of it. So if you can make a better case for something other than Arcana,
I mean, in terms of like reading the audience and doing the thing, like what would
applying taking the information you glean from your insight and then turning that into a plan of what you need to do to keep them interested, to keep them engaged, and to tip them over the edge. The final check will be performance.
Right. What about persuasion for that, in terms of like planning out what I need, what kind of persuasive
we'll
performance do I
an
need?
intelligence persuasion check, because it's using your intellect to determine what you need to persuade them, and you are proficient in persuasion. So
No, in that case, what about if it has to be proficient? Deception? I mean, that is like Birdie's like MO in terms of how does he come up with a plan? He's a deceiver.
Yeah.
And he's all about like, how am I gonna?
I'll allow it, but it's intelligence deception. So roll a d20, add your intelligence modifier, and your proficiency bonus.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
I'll just roll. What do I have? +6, and this will be a sleight of hand, I guess, because that's the same modifier here. 19.
Okay. And then make your performance check.
With advantage since I'm using my lute. I have advantage on performance when I use my lute. 31 again.
31. Yeah.
And
So-
Paige Looney did put up a good point. In terms of the actual music, it's probably a cross between We Are the Champions and I Need a Hero. It's like a mix.
Like following the storyline, you
Yes,
need a
yes,
hero.
yes,
The
yeah.
defeat of.
Yeah.
We Are the Champions.
Yeah.
I feel like Birdie's very Queen inspired. Freddie Mercury. Like.
For sure. Well, and several of the other performers were as well. Everyone performs very well. Of course, we all saw it coming. Birdie, over the top, blows it all out of the water. And when they bring you all out onto the stage afterward to announce the winner, there is they just do like a audience applause meter. And you see that there is a Suran in a long flowing sort of rainbow iridescent robe that is standing off to the side with a silken pillow, and on the pillow is a crown. And it's just standing there very, very regally kind of looking on as they do one by one the applause meter. Everyone performed very well.
Just for the sake of show.
Yeah. But Birdie gets like the standing O. It's very clear that Yoshiro walks over and you
he
can
does
see
one of these.
like the crown itself is like it's wood and it's painted with some gold and has like
Be gracious.
like turquoise and like
Yeah.
like not even like semi-precious stones, but you know, like it's like a Burger King kid's crown, but it says
that's
King of the Bards across the front.
Wow. Add that to the
and
inventory.
They hand it like at Lona. It's just sort of like, you know, clapping unenthusiastically, but clapping. Callan the Courageous is nodding and sort of like gesturing to the crowd to keep up the applause. Reese is clapping extremely enthusiastically and smiling at you and nodding very vigorously.
Yeah. Interesting.
But yes, you are handed the crown. It is placed upon your head, much to the adoration of the crowd.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
The Commodore steps out, and with that, he says the ceremonies are concluded. Everyone have a wonderful night. Some of the vendors will remain open until sunrise, but tomorrow everything will be torn down. And it's been delightful having everyone in town. Sister celebrations have occurred in all the capital cities for those who couldn't travel all the way here, but this was the big one. And with that, the crowd kind of like mills about for a little bit. I would say before you're able to get off the stage and rejoin your compatriots, the young man kind of like rushes to your side and is just very enthusiastic, like, "Oh, Mr. the Bard, Mr. Birdie the Bard. I'm Reese. I was another one of the performers. I don't know if you caught my act.
Oh yeah, it was good.
I had to say hello. I'm a huge fan. I've seen you perform in the taverns here when you were just starting out years ago. I followed your career. You're an inspiration to the guys like me who are learning the trade. Did you have any secrets on how to succeed, or how to make it big? You know, someday I hope to be as
quick,
famous
grab
as
the
you."
rope before his head blows away.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how's this guy's outfit?
Okay.
Like, how is it a good out? Is it really
Please
good?
be nice to him, please.
6. Like
It's just starting out.
It fits well.
Right.
The material leaves much to be desired. He clearly can't afford fine clothing. But he's clean.
Right.
Little threadbare around like the edges, the hems.
Yeah.
Terrified.
Yeah. Okay. I think he'd say, if you want to be the best, you have to dress like the best. And he's just gonna put like 2 platinum in his hand, and he's just gonna kind of lean in and whisper, lean into his ears, goes, "Your shoes are really ugly, but I like your music." And then he'll kind of, you know, pat him on the shoulder and.
There's a moment where, like, his shoulders sag a moment, but you can see like he's doing the math, and then he raises his head up and he's like, "No, that's fair. That's fair. Yeah, no, I'll work on that. Thank you."
You've got the stuff. It's just about packaging it in a way that people want to be you.
Fake
It's
it till you make
building,
it.
fake it till you make it. Also, a bit of stage work never hurt anybody. You know, fireworks,
Yeah.
flames, people love it. You know, I was
Yeah.
flying in the sky. Now, granted, I have some of the most magical friends in the world, but still,
know,
no
right?
excuses. I was before. Oh, I tell you what. I will give this young man my triangle of silent image. I'll say, I give him this triangle. It's like, you ding this. I'll ding it in front of him, and you just watch as like it rains purple glitter around, like in a circle for like 10 feet. It's like, this is how I got my start. I was better at it and didn't need this, but I feel like this could help with your stage work too.
His eyes go anime big with like the stars and the water. His lip quivers a little bit as he accepts this gift from you, and he gives you this meaningful look, and you hear him like kind of choked up, and he says, "Sir, I will never forget this moment and this purple rain. That would make a great song."
Oh.
Yeah. And come up with a better stage name, you know? I'm, king of the king of the bards. Maybe you could be Queen or something. I don't know. Yeah. Queen's not bad.
I'll mull that over.
And for Christ's sake, get some better shoes. I gave you the
He
money.
just
You
like
have no
lunges
excuses
forward
now.
and like puts his arms around you, like buries his head in your chest. Is just like hugging you tightly. Thank you, sir.
Okay, let's not make it sentimental.
Of course. He's like wiping his eyes. Thank you again.
Right.
Oh.
All right.
You guys are all like watching this happen as he's like you're waiting off stage as like Birdie hasn't yet left. He's like kind of made his way over to the edge. The abbess leans into you, Brina, and whispers, "Well, wasn't that just the nicest thing? And totally unexpected. The
There's
Lady of
one
the
thing-
Mirror works in mysterious ways."
If there's one thing I know about the birthday of the bard, it is that you should expect the unexpected.
Indeed.
Unless it's really like twisted and weird, then you probably should expect Birdie.
Yeah, definitely also expect what you
she
expect to.
Ugly cackles at that.
Expect the unexpected and also what the worst possible outcome to. Cover all your bases. Did we just make Prince canon in Tyria?
Well, I mean, it's a natural sort of descent from Queen to Prince.
I mean, come on.
I mean, yeah, and purple glitter rain.
Right. I was so afraid you were gonna crush this boy's dreams. I was like, nah, Ozymandias 2.0.
I had faith.
I brought it around.
You
Birdie
did.
refuses to lower
Dude,
his
it was
standards,
rough.
but he has
He
a
rock with the
soft
best,
spot for
with the
the
best.
the aspiring bard. Yeah,
True. Absolutely. Absolutely.
he hates to see someone underdressed
It's true.
Especially someone in the profession.
in the profession. Should be a symbol of pride. But.
So with that, the Dragon Bash Festival comes to an end. It looks like it's going to take a couple of days to really clean the city streets after this stuff is moved out. But a period of calm descends upon the city. And this is an excellent place to call it for the evening.
Nice.
So I will turn this down a little. We'll stop the recording.
I think you've cursed us. That song's gonna be stuck in my head for like.
I'm gonna have it in your
It's an
dreams.
earwig.